Back by popular demand. England's Wolf of Wall Street Part 3.
The most popular demanded podcast ever, second to Emma Kenny and No Love Zone Party. That
Right,
it is
bigging himself up now.
not really.
The thing about this one that makes it even more special, got the wild man here, the legendary wild man. It's bizarre because we've heard so much about this bloke. You're like a fictional character now from the life of him. Do you know what I mean?
You two finally meet because you've heard almost constantly go on True Geordie's podcast, and he's heard almost constantly get Wild Man on the podcast.
But he's come here and I'm like, what? He's actually real. Everything you said is fucking actually happening.
Because after Shaun left the first podcast, a lot of people, I imagine, went, "That's bullshit. None of that happened." Do you know what I mean? And then when you see he's real, you're like, "Oh shit, what do we do?"
So
23 stone larger than life.
Yeah,
you are, mate, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're one of those characters, like, you walk in a room and everyone's going to fucking notice you. I like that though.
Yeah.
I'd rather stand out than sort of go fucking into the background. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
and Shaun's so plain. It's just, that's
why I hung out with him, because everywhere we went, he'd get everyone talking to us, and he'd just like own the room.
Really?
And I was like shy and anxious a little bit when I was a teenager.
It's like,
Wild Man just like, "Oh, I'm here."
It's like P. Diddy and Notorious B.I.G. sort of
we
thing.
have a very similar thing going on.
So how did you meet, lads?
We grew up together in Widnes.
Yeah.
We were just school kids, wasn't we, growing up? You're 3 years older than me, aren't you?
I was in a little gang with his brother was the leader and his cousin Hammy, and they wouldn't let Peter join. And they used to beat him up and stuff. His brother was cruel to him, and in the end I splintered off with Wildman.
What made you think he was the better option to hang out with at the time? Do you remember?
We just had like this connection, didn't we? We were like buzzing off his boombox, playing Bronski beat, hanging out in the gay area of Manchester, doing like the early dance music stuff together. And that led to us starting to rave together, didn't it?
Well, yeah, when like most of our mates were going to the pubs and all that, we were jumping in the Talbot, and we were going to like the Hacienda, and we were going to the raves and all that.
What?
And we just got used to it.
What? Just because these are names that a lot of people won't know because they are 8. So, no, seriously though, Hacienda, Talbot, things like that, they were massive rave place. Well,
so the Talbot Hacienda, was my little car.
And so you go in your little Talbot to the Hacienda.
Yeah, the
and
Hacienda.
you basically get into this huge club. It opens out and bam, you're in the rave scene.
Yeah, well, most people our generation were sat in the pubs drinking, fighting outside nightclubs.
Right.
We started doing that at an early age.
They didn't want to leave the hometown, but me and Wildman were like, we've got to get the fuck out of here and explore. So we go to the cities, wouldn't we? Liverpool, Manchester, down to Coventry.
Stoke, Coventry, the
Eclipse Club. Yeah.
Were they famous places at that time? Because Stoke and Coventry don't sound...
They don't sound...
They were huge back then.
Right.
Convoys so thick on the motorway, you could see it from that end to that end.
What did you like about the raves? What was it in particular that got into... Because when I got to places like that, it's like... There's too many fucking people. Everyone's jumping around your face. What did you love about that?
All right. Well, back then,
fit half-naked birds for one.
You're going to the wrong race.
That's good enough for me. Yeah, sold.
Back then, the dance music scene was: you went to a nightclub, you had your shirt and tie on, bouncers looked down at you, and maybe wouldn't even let you in. Kids were sick of it. All of a sudden, they're smashing open warehouses, breaking into airplane hangars. People are coming in with all this equipment and throwing these illegal parties. It was like a revolution in music back then.
Right.
All over the news, showing all these kids with the big eyes on the ecstasy. Yeah. And the police and the government were like, oh, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. What we're going to do about these people? We were like, we want a piece of that, weren't we?
It was before it got all organised, so it was like literally you walk up to a place, it's like an old scrapyard. And they open the door and there's 2 guys there and they've got like big dogs and they've got literally like Asda bags and you just throw your £10 in. They've got just bagfuls of money and these big dogs. And when the police come, they just set the dogs on you. Just let the dogs go and you just got to run, otherwise you're going to get your ass bit, you know what I mean? It was a bit of a buzz, wasn't it? It's like,
you wonder if you're going to get arrested at the end of the night and stuff like that, yeah.
I was sick of doing the pubs scene and all as well. I was banned from most of the pubs, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
Being an arsehole, fighting. And then going to the nightclubs and then always getting kicked out of the nightclubs and the bouncers would always like chicken wing me 3 or 4 of them and throw me out. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start fighting back with you bastards.
See, he's always painted you out to sort of be a violent man.
Oh,
Do you think that's a fair statement?
No, not really. No,
I love that. He's laughing right in your face.
Have you seen all the teeth marks on his knuckles?
To be fair, his hands look like they've had a few. They look like they'd be perfect for just pounding meat in a butcher shop. Do you know
I had
what
to
I
put my wedding ring on today. My woman said, if you go down London without your wedding ring on, I'll get a divorce. So I've got it on wave.
Well, it started in his school when he got bigger than everybody, didn't he? And the teachers put him outside raking the leaves. The teachers were so scared of him.
Really?
Yeah, well, basically what they did was, I think one of them was threatening me and all that. The teacher called Mr. Hayes, so I threatened to put him in right near where the canteen is there. They had these big bins where they put all the slop. So I was going to throw him in the slop. So I had to go to the headmaster, and then the headmaster's like, he had this like traffic light thing on his door where it was like red, wait. No, it was red, do not enter. Amber, please wait, and green, go in. And I'm waiting to go and see the headmaster. And like by this time, my mum and him were just like best of friends. First name terms, every Friday she's down there having a cup of tea. What we're going to do with your Peter? Oh, just give him one more chance, will you? We're going to have to do something with him. He's running rampant, blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, I kicked his door down because he kept me on red. He kept me on night, no, don't go in. So I booted his door and it just come off the hinges. But what I didn't know, he was having like a staff meeting and all the teachers were there. So I got suspended indefinitely for that. And what they did is they got me a private tutor from 9 o'clock to 11. And I just did English and math. And then I could go back home. And after 6 months, they let me back in school. And I got into a fight with a couple of guys. And then that was it then. They just said, look, if you want to stay do your exams, you can help the caretaker out. So that's what I did. I helped the caretaker out. When all of the kids were going to the chippy getting the chips, I was going to the pub having what was it called? A low C, like the bottles of lager.
Right.
I was going to the pub having a low C. So, I mean, I didn't get no qualifications. I could have as well. I mean, I knew a lot of the stuff, but I wasn't motivated. I was the class clown. It's like, and there wasn't really a lot of stuff I really liked. Nothing would actually motivate me.
Subject-wise?
Yeah, I'd rather disrupt the class. I'd rather be just the class clown, just be an arsehole, really.
You two were in the same school?
No.
Right,
no.
okay. So you can't say he's right or wrong about his experience, but your experience of him as a teenager, was he someone who was a bit of a fire starter in one sense?
Well, we should probably tell you about the red dots.
Go on.
I'll let him tell you.
Thanks for that, lad. Fucking hell. Well, it's just when I started getting into the fights with the doorman and all that, I just used to have. It's not so much red dots. I think it was just anger. But you know, like you just like glaze over, and there's no. A lot of people have a stop, like a stop mechanism. They know the guy's had enough. But no, I just like glaze over, and I just on top pummel the shit out of him, until I'm getting dragged off, and then I'll fight with them. Then I started having to go to magistrate's court for like ABHs and stuff like that. And in the end, it started as like when I got to like 16, 17. Because I was going clubs at 16. As I started getting older, the charges started getting worse and worse and worse. So decided to start going the raves instead, to take a pill and chill out. So that's what I did, and it did work. You don't fight in raves. I mean, later on, it got moody. It started getting where you'd get gangsters, wannabe gangsters, coming and trying to rob pills and all that.
Right.
But at the very beginning, it was just refreshing. It was nice. There was no one in your face. There was no one like fucking trying to pick a fight, or no one had to prove anything. Know what I mean? You just took a pill and had a laugh.
Why do you think people picked on you in the pub side, or did you feel that people picked on you, or do you think you sometimes went out looking for a bit of
a bit of both, really? A bit of both. I mean, I did go out my way looking for it too, like, but I didn't necessarily go in the pub and cause a fight.
Right.
But I'd end up like, and to be honest with you, most of the fights I had, I never really had many one-on-ones. There was always a couple of them trying to jump on me.
Would you say you had a reputation? So if someone saw you, they'd be like, that's that guy.
I definitely have a reputation, yeah, because even if 2 or 3 of them done me in, the next week I'd pick them off one by one. I'd get the bastards, you know what I mean?
So you know how, like, you said that you'd see the rage sort of thing come over you?
Yeah.
Like, for me, like I've got a little bit of that sometimes where when I lose it, it all bets are off. Like there's just no that can sort
there's no senses that there's no like.
It takes us a while to come back to fucking reality.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because you're just in that place. But like, is there a reason that you're like that? Do you think like when that started, or has it just always been there? Do you think in you?
I think it's always been there in me, really. I don't actually know. I was never like mistreated as a child, or I had a good upbringing, or all that. My older brother was an arsehole, you know what I mean? He'd hit me over the head for having a fucking wank. Fucking hell. I'd be having a fucking toss and he'd come in with a broomstick and swat me. Well, he probably had a bigger dick than that was all, you know what I mean? But no, I just think it was, I always stuck out. I was always a head above people. Like when I was 16, I was like 6'2", 16 half stone.
You used to fight bouncers by then. I still remember what you were black and blue one time, like a train had hit him.
Really?
At 16, I was doing like size 38 Farrahs and fucking like, you know, extra large Ben Shermans. So it was like, I'd go out to the clubs and bouncers would kick me out. Not for being underage either, but we'd just get into it with them. And you know, I didn't like bouncers, to be honest with you. I just didn't like them. It was just something about them, their attitude, the way they get you and they like chicken wing you, so that, you know, and just throw you down the fucking stairs. Yeah. I got to the stage where I thought, I'll fucking wait for you bastard. Find out where you live, I'll have you. And then thought, I'll get in trouble here being like this, you know what I mean?
What motivation is that though? What do you think it is that like motivates you to be that way? Because you get almost zero benefit from doing that.
No, not at all. But I mean, I didn't really put much thought into it.
Right.
It wasn't even enjoyment. I didn't get enjoyment or anything out of it. It was just, I suppose I was crying for attention somehow. You know, I think I was sick of just being like people being normal, and like just sick of, I wanted to be a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what struck me a little bit about that story, is that it seems like you're almost
that's where you connected, wasn't it? Yeah. You both wanted to get the fuck out of Widnes and not be the same as every other.
He's very sensible about it. Yeah. He's sensible about it.
He had a plan, basically.
Did you have much of a relationship with your dad?
Got on with my dad, yeah. He'd like...
was he a fighter like you are?
No. He'd nag a lot at me, my dad, because he'd get in from work and my mum would be like, he's been fucking up to this and he's been fucking doing that. So he'd come in and I'd get a belt round the fucking head, you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't really resent him for that, to be honest with you. I'd have kicked my ass too. Yeah.
Do you think he was just trying to do like just whip you into shape sort of thing and keep you on the right road?
Well, in the end it was just enough. They were arguing that much. It could have come like next to the divorce. I left at 16 and then by the time I was 17 I was with a bird and she was pregnant and I was living in a house working at a place called the Crispy, the Golden Wonder. They call it the Crispy because it is just literally making crisps.
Right.
Golden Wonder crisps.
I remember those. They're not around anymore.
No, they're not around no more.
They were fucking decent though.
They were really decent.
You knew that if you saw another kid get Golden Wonder out their lunchbox, you were like, you're having a good day.
The best thing about that fucking job was you'd get paid 80 fucking quid, which doesn't sound fuck all. Well, it's more than a jar, I don't know, but it doesn't sound fuck all. But every payday, you'd get like a big box of 48 crisps and they'd give them you for £2.50. That was the best thing about that job. And you got your wage packet like a little brown envelope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money.
Mate, I used to work with butchers and every Sunday I'd get like big fucking joint and a few fucking sausage rolls and that. I'd be
like, you can't go wrong with that.
You two should have teamed up. You had a lunchbox.
How much for your crisps and beef? Alright. So you got a girl pregnant, yeah?
Yeah, I got a girl pregnant.
You sound quite immature with, like, in that story that you're telling, like not ready for that situation. So how did that fucking feel like?
It settled me down for a bit, but it went wrong real quick because then I felt I was missing out on things then. You know, I'm sitting at home with this woman and she's pregnant and I haven't got money to go anywhere. I haven't even got money to go in a pub and have a fight, get into a fight or get into trouble or do anything, and just getting nagged at and just like paint this, decorate this, do that. Well, you get a job. For fuck's sake, man.
So if you're having a kid or something.
Yeah. And it just didn't work out.
People like you, this is no disrespect, mate, but I feel like they're not made for that fucking structure, especially not at that age.
No.
You're supposed to be on a fucking battlefield in a kilt swinging an axe.
You'd be the king's bodyguard.
I do feel like you were born in the wrong age, because when he's telling me these stories, you think right now that doesn't fit into society, but in the 15,
you would have been effective as fuck.
If your village is getting attacked, he's first out.
Come on, man. It's like David and Goliath, basically, isn't it?
Hamish off of fucking Braveheart and shit like that. So, were you in his life around this time, were you, when this was happening?
So I'm trying to get my studies done, my degree done and stuff like that around this time. We're rave partners, so on the weekends I'm doing my raving with Wild Man, getting down to my studying on the weekdays. And I'm seeing how volatile he is and what's going on in this country with him. So I'm thinking, I'm going to go to America, get rich in the stock market, fly Wildman out and get him a job as a wrestler so we can channel this aggressive energy.
Vince McMahon's gain. Love it. So that was the master plan.
That was the structure I was going to put on him, but as you mentioned about structure and Wildman, it doesn't quite work.
So what happened next, sort of thing, lads? So
I'm out there, and it took me, from going out there penniless, it took me about 5 years. Within 5 years to start making the hundreds of thousands, and then Wildman came out while I was still a stockbroker, and I sent him one ticket, didn't I? And he didn't show up at the airport. That was grand. Then the next one he came, and
why did you not go to the airport?
He was too volatile.
Too fucking. Why I wanted to go in the first place was I'd just done 2.5 years in prison, and I'd been out for 15 months, and. I mean, the 2.5 years in prison over there is absolutely fucking nothing. You only do half anyway, it's 15 months.
Right.
It was 5 months in Walton.
Just to be clear, 15 months is quite a long time.
This is Wildman saying prison is nothing.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
For an average person.
So can we just, so just to understand where we've gone here, so at one point you're living with a girl, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
How do you go from that into prison? What happened?
She kicks me out.
Did you have the kid beforehand?
She had the kid, and she kicked me out, and I went back home, and the kid, I'd see my daughter Ashley. She'd come up every weekend and see me, and go and see the ducks, and that suited me.
All right.
Which it sounds really an arsehole saying that, but that's all I was quite ready for, really.
The funny thing is,
I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Normally I think arsehole, but because of the background story, I think less arsehole.
I think so. One thing I've learned from my dad, especially, is that just because my dad was a fucking wild man as well. He was in that prison mile. There's some blokes, they're not ready for that when it happens to them, and then they're like,
yeah, exactly.
Fuck, you know what I mean? They've still got a lot of shit that they want to carry on doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Get out the system before they settle down.
Do you think you knew that and she knew that getting into that relationship?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a planned baby.
No shit. Yeah.
It was literally one of them over the wall type of things.
Right. And so
how did you end up getting locked up? Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, I ended up. I heard there was a raving witness.
I love that stuff. All right.
And,
sorry, how'd you hear about rape? People just sort of go
back then.
Yeah.
There was flyers on your cars when you're coming out of the previous one, and with the numbers, the hotlines. You meet at a location that would be announced on that night.
It normally it'd be a service like Burtonwood Services, and they'd have a flyer there saying there's a rave on such and such.
Because they're not incredibly romantic places, are they? Service stations?
No, not at all. No,
we've got some fun memories of.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah,
I love it.
But this is a different time in Britain.
There's no Facebook.
When you're getting into this.
No,
there's no Facebook. There's no Instagram.
You got pay phones to find out your location.
You got fax.
Fact. Do you have a fax?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a. Evening. There's a rave going on. It just came on the fax machine.
Not a fax. What do you call?
Oh, like a pager.
Pager.
Right. Yeah. And that's even cooler then. Right.
And then we're it's like 911 coming, emergency and all that. Yeah, it wasn't a fax. No, it was a pager. You'd get it on your pager.
So you two are turning up at service stations dressed how?
It was multicoloured back then, wasn't it?
Is it similar to if you go into that Cyberdog sort of thing in Camden now?
Very
bright.
Acid house.
I bet you look mad, being as big as you are.
I did.
Bright as fuck.
Yeah, I did.
I bet you that caught some attention though. Like, I would have liked that. You know what I mean?
But everyone just fit in because everyone's just smiling and dancing and the smoke clouds.
Yeah.
And I guess it's easier to spot the other people who are going to the rave when you get to the service station.
Whole service station at 2 a.m. is just the whole car park completely full of ravers. Yeah.
Right.
Police couldn't deal with it.
No.
So you're on the way to the rave now.
Right. So I heard there's a rave on, and while I'm down there, someone goes, "This is my local town." Now there wasn't really many raves there, and they say, "There's a guy who got 2,000 Ds on him. He's coming up to town." I thought, "Oh, is he?" "Oh yeah, I'm having him. I'm having it." Fucking didn't get me fucking gyro. Spent me gyro. Gone down there to try and get emergency gyro. Didn't fucking work. Yeah. Can you say you've lost it so many fucking times, can't you? Know what I mean? Yeah. So I go down there and I'm waiting for him, and then like I walk up, introduce myself. "Have you got any E's?" "Oh, I don't know what you're on about." And I'm with a couple of lads, and there's about 3 or 4 of them. I said, "Do you want some E's?" "Oh yeah, have you got some?" So I take him round the corner, befriend him, and bang him. And it works out. It's the wrong fucking guy, and it's the wrong group of people.
Some poor innocent.
This poor guy and that guy had no E's.
No, he had no E's. He hadn't
So this
been
guy's
He's just
thinking-
been fucking pub with his mates.
Great.
Know what I mean?
This guy's like, fucking brilliant. I'm going to get some E's. This is going to be a quick bang.
He had enough money for a kebab though.
And then, as I hit him, some change fell out. It was about £2.80 fell out.
Yeah.
And they went running off. I thought, fuck it, I'll have it. I went and got a kebab.
Right.
And literally, the next day, the police come to me fucking house. Armed police do us as well. And they come kicking me fucking door in and all that and got me for street robbery. I was street robbery? I only hit the fucking... I just hit him. What was street robbery about it? We said that he robbed him. I'm thinking, fucking lying bastard. What's all that about? And I thought, fucking, it can't be that kebab money, can it? You know what I mean? Surely. Yeah. Cut a long story short, I got 2.5 years for £2.80.
Jesus Christ. That's like a month for every fucking 10 pence or something like that.
I know.
So,
Jesus.
where'd you go to prison?
I was in Walton for 5 months.
Right.
I got sentenced in Warrington. I went to Walton for 5 months, and then from Walton I went to Northumberland, Acklington,
Right.
and then 5 months there, and then I finished off at a place called Home House, Stockton-on-Tees.
How bad do you think you hurt this guy? Just roughly, was he just chinned? Was he really hurt or?
No, I might have knocked the tooth out with a bit of a swollen jaw. I didn't fuck him up. It was only one dig.
Yeah, so because there'd be people watching this now who are like, fucking hell, you hit him just for so, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think from their point of view, like, did you feel guilty when you were on the way to prison? Did you feel like, I shouldn't have done that, or is your state of mind just like?
I felt like a complete fucking arsehole for doing it in the first place, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But it was just spur of the moment. It was just one of them things. I didn't have anything better to do that day.
Were you gutted when you didn't have the E's? That's a genuine question.
I love that.
I wasn't really that bothered. They got a kebab out of it.
Right,
I
yeah.
wasn't expecting to get 2.5 years.
But 2,000 E's, and I'm not endorsing drug use. Ecstasy's terrible, but kebab.
Well, the worst of it is, I
E's.
probably would have sold them. I would probably give them away anyway. It wasn't about the money. I probably would have sold some.
Yeah.
But like,
everyone's friend at that rate.
But yeah,
Just throwing them.
Yeah.
it's just
Make it rain.
Yeah.
It was thinking about it. I shouldn't have done it, but you say that about a lot of things in hindsight, can't you? You know what I mean?
We started a podcast.
So when I heard this, I'm convinced now he's just going to spend the rest of his life in prison. If that's what he's doing, he's just going to get out, do something else. I'm thinking his only chance now is if we get him out into America.
And you're already in America while he's in prison.
I'm building my stuff up, aren't I, while he's in prison?
You're on the come up now.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sean's only solution is that he wrestles in America.
Wrestles base.
Yeah.
But that idea didn't work.
It's the only thing we can find that can match
Yeah.
it.
What can we get over here to do? Wrestling. That's the way out of this.
I rented him like a part of a house near the Georgian Dragon British pub in Phoenix, Arizona. I figured he'll just go to the British pub, hang out with the lads in there, have a pint, and he'll be mellow, and he'll spend the rest of his life in America. Nothing bad will happen to him ever again. But this was going to go. This was going to go a bit.
You're making yourself sound good there. You put me in a mainly Mexican drug addict fucking area.
Right.
You set me for failure straight away. You put me with fucking crack dealers, hookers, and like I would have to come out the fucking road and get a bag of crack.
Yeah. With hindsight, it was idealistic.
Yeah. So you arrive in, is it quite a sleepy town, or what's it
Phoenix,
like?
Arizona.
Like, no, the area he's in, was it?
Central Phoenix.
Phoenix.
So it's a bustling city.
It was bustling, but but it was just off there. I was in it was a Mexican neighbourhood.
It's hot.
Was that a culture shock? Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
Oh yeah,
Were you like? Because I mean, even in London, I've just met him at the gate there, and like he's like, "Fucking hell, London." And now Mexico is even more fucking strange.
We are in the main Mexican area of London, aren't we? Yeah.
But Mexico,
Arizona.
The Arizona side is much more different again.
I'm driving him back from the airport, and he's like, "Pull over." I'm like, "What's up, la?" Like, is that a fucking I want to see that cactus. I want to have a look at that cactus.
Right.
Got these huge saguaro cactus. They're like, 20 foot high, and he made me pull over to check the cactus out.
Movies, don't you know what I mean?
I'm on your side of that one. I think it's quite exciting. So, what year roughly are we talking here? Like?
This is middle 90s, isn't it now?
Wait, again, 96, a completely different time.
Yeah,
do you know 96. What I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is, like, the movies that people are making now, they're making movies about that era. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, your story is very similar to Wolf of Wall Street in some respects.
From that era, exactly.
Classic.
Yeah.
But like, even the way you're describing
people for kebabs.
Yeah.
Even the way you're describing this whole, I mean, we've heard 2 parts of your story already.
Yeah.
It is very like something out of like Grand Theft Auto. Like, do you know what I mean? So you're on your way. This is a whole new place for you, a new start. What's your mind state right now in this place?
I'm just happy.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to see Shaun, best mate. You know what I mean? And sort of just get out of there, just get out of prison, get out. I mean, back then I was only about 18. I was about 18 stone. So I was thinner, a lot thinner compared to what I am now.
You must have been fucking huge at that way. You must have been a unit, is what I mean. Looking at your fucking shoulders when you walk along.
Well, you're big about yourself.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It was like I couldn't wait to get there and just seeing different things, like cactus. But getting off the plane, it was something fucking else. Just like imagine like fucking being in a microwave. As soon as the plane door opened, the hot air just hit you. And I thought, wow.
Almost 50 degrees.
Dry heat as well.
Dry heat,
very dry.
Yeah. Something you'll have never come into contact with in England or Europe before.
No.
America's a very different air, isn't it?
Well, I'd never been abroad since then either. I'd never been anywhere. I mean, most people go to
This is your first
time abroad. Most people will go like Greece or Spain or, Portugal for the week. But it's the very first time ever in America.
Shaun didn't want to lower you in gently.
Not
just
at all.
Fuck it, we're flying to Arizona. Do you know what I mean?
So are you aware that Shaun's on in the way of becoming a millionaire here?
No, not at all. I know that he's doing all right for himself, but I'm just glad that he's got me with the tickets. You know what I mean?
What I'm picking it more and more is like how little you analysed every city. Like you lived life. You didn't think about it. You just went and did it.
Yeah.
I like that. But so you're trying to look out for him at this point.
Yeah, and after a few weeks, me and the woman I was with at the time would go over to visit him at his place that I've rented for him. And I knock on the door. I'm like, Peter. The door opens slowly. And there's all these Mexican gangsters in there.
Well, you will put me in that fucking area.
They're like looking at me like, who are you? I'm like, where's Peter? And they're like, Peter, we don't know any Peter. Do you mean Pizza? No, I'm Peter. He lives here. I rented this place for him. What's going on? Like, I start yelling, Peter. So then they like come at me at the door, pull the guns out. The burden with, she's like, oh fuck. And we start like backpedaling away from them, thinking we're about to get shot. And then he walks over the road. He's like, oh, don't worry, la. These are my new mates. They're meth and crack dealers. There's a Colombian one who runs the gang. I've rented my place out to them because they like to move around a lot.
Clever.
And we were like, me and my bird were like, we just nearly got shot, Peter. You could have told us.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few quid out of it. I got a big lump of crack. And plus, they had just moved from a place 50 yards down the road, so they said I could stay there. The police had just busted the place,
right?
But they were still renting it out. You know what I mean? So I could stay there, make sure that and if any come knocking on the door, say, oh, the new shops there.
Because they like the area, don't they? Schools and everything.
The new shops there.
Yeah.
We were buzzing at how big a crack rock he could do in one breath.
How big's a crack rock?
Depends how big you want to do it.
How big can you get a crack rock?
What are you doing, like $100 ones?
You can literally get it kilo size because it just depends how you make it. But I was literally,
most people when they smoke crack though, they get addicted very, very quickly.
Yeah, it is.
Were you like addicted at that point?
No, the first time I'd ever done it, and I did a massive rock, and it was just like, it felt good. It felt really good. Like it was just the best high I'd ever had. Because it's like instant. Eating that, you wait, you have a dance, you eat up or you whatever. And LSD was alright, you know what I mean? I like to get out your mind a little bit. But and weed.
Yeah.
But that weed's just like,
So
you know.
what was the difference between crack and the others? Because the others seem to be quite straightforward. What does crack give you?
An instant euphoria, instant high. Like every single hair on your back, every hair on your head just stands up. And you're just like, you almost just fucking come in your pants there, and then you know what I mean.
Right.
It's just an absolutely lovely feeling.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't stand it.
Really?
Last a couple of minutes, you're like, whew, and then it's gone. And like I could take Ian and be happy for 5 hours.
All right, so it wasn't a long-lasting high.
No, your first high is your only high. Your first hit is your only high, and then people just chase it. But I knew that, and I wasn't like that. I just had one big fuck off fat rock. And just leave it till the next day then.
It's funny though, because that seems quite like someone who's quite in control of what's going on. Were you sort of... Were you...
He would always say to me, don't let the drugs control you, we control the drugs.
Right.
That was his
Which
saying
is quite
back
clever
then.
mentality, really, when you think of drugs. Was that always the case?
I had so many other drugs to do too.
Right.
A crystal meth to try out. I'd never done that before.
What was the experience with that?
It was nice too. It was just like, it was all different experiences.
Meth for me is the drug that when you watch TV, it's the ones where it's the model picture, like a supermodel will take it and it's the before and after.
Yeah.
Here she is looking gorgeous and here she is looking fucking rancid. After the drugs wrecked her. Like, but in my head I'm like, at some point when the girl sees herself fucking deteriorating, she'll stop it. They can't. Why is that? Why can't they stop?
They don't see it. They don't see it as they've got a problem before the end. It's too late. Once they see it's a problem, they've already got the fucking sores on the face, and they're already looking fucking fucked up anyway.
That's
you know
the
what
biker gang drug, isn't it? Meth. That's what
in the
Hells
beginning
Angels fucking...
the Mexicans took
they
over.
make it themselves, don't they?
And you don't sleep. You don't sleep for days and days
Why
and
not?
days.
That's the other thing as well. Like with crack, you got to keep buying it. With meth, people moved from coke because coke you got to keep buying it. But meth, you do one line, you're high for a day.
Really?
Oh yeah, you don't need to sleep or anything. You're superhuman.
Did the price reflect that? Like, was meth more expensive, or was it all just as cheap as anything
cheap, wasn't it, in Arizona? Because we're right next to Mexico.
Right.
It sounds really bad, this, but I never paid for drugs once in America, really.
Sure. It was like 7-Eleven for you downstairs,
it was
basically.
literally,
Yeah. But so,
if Shaun wasn't around, I'd make my own. I don't have to go rob people anywhere. Like
or
that.
you'd have been a millionaire. Maybe Shaun was holding you back.
Well,
that's why he could never deal. He could never deal. He would just eat any amount of drugs I gave him. He would consume it himself.
It's like Brian being a McDonald's dealer.
Don't get high on your own supply.
we were driving to a rave one time in this car. And we were paranoid about police being behind us.
Because you're on drugs?
Someone in the car, like an
very tried to you with this one, hasn't he?
Someone in the car,
big time.
someone in the car had an ounce of meth. So we thought, right, someone's got to eat the ounce of meth. And one was like, I'll fucking eat the ounce of meth. And then we get to this rave, Big Bear Lake in California. It was cold up there, and you were like just sweating, you know.
I actually felt as if I was going to die on that day. Really.
I'm surprised you didn't really.
It was just like, it was a bit over the top because
a bit over the top. Fuck me. What a fucking... That's going to be on a t-shirt someday.
This is a bit over the top, isn't it? What's going on here?
An ounce of meth.
Do you want another drink?
Oh, fine, thank you. Oh yeah, we'll have one. Why not?
My God, lad.
No, he was during that first trip.
Thank you.
Which he did go to hospital multiple times. Yeah. He'd get high on crack and meth, and he'd just go walkabout. And I wouldn't know where he was for days. He'd show up days later with holes in his shoes. And he couldn't even tell me where he'd been or what he'd done.
Well, I think if you'd stopped doing that stockbroker shit and kept a better eye on me, things like that wouldn't happen.
That's a good point. Do you?
Fucking friendship.
Were you sexually active at that time as well?
Oh yeah, I was fucking everything with me.
Because Shaun was fucking a lot of very attractive women from the stories he tells us.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, was that true?
Yeah, it was very true. Yeah.
So were you sort of joining in on this?
And none of them was underage.
Right. Yeah. Good.
Just saying that worries me.
No. Right.
He's trying to get us sent back to America.
Yeah. But so were you sort of joining in on that? Were you, I don't mean on the same people, but were you?
Well, man, met a woman that was into getting tased.
Oh yeah, we remember that from episode 2. If you don't remember,
she showed up at the house party we were throwing with her boyfriend, some bouncer dude.
Oh, Corey.
And obviously, you've already got a dislike for bouncers.
Yeah, that's a real name. I'll have to start using.
Yeah, let me just make because some people call us out on using different names on different stories. We have to change names for legal reasons.
Right. So,
so some of these stories might be the same, different names for the same story.
Right.
Just for the YouTube viewers.
Sean gave me this fucking book last night. He gave it me like 5 days ago. He said, listen, read it and make sure you know all the names. You know who they are, but make sure the legal names or illegal names. And fucking hell, talk about pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's your new book, Shaun.
This is Party Time New Edition, almost 100 pages longer than the original edition.
What, this one right here?
Wild Man is throughout that book all of his most crazy stories.
Wow.
So just so
the taser girl.
The taser.
Right, on the taser. She like, just to be clear, she likes stun guns on her clit.
Let's go back. She just shows up at this house party with a boyfriend, bouncer.
Yeah.
She sends a boyfriend off to make some spaghetti bolognese, was it? And in the meantime,
good meal.
That's an unusual thing to turn up to a party and do, though, isn't it?
Well, I actually told her to do it because we were talking, and she was like, as she sat there, she's flashing me a minge anyway.
Of course she is.
So I'm thinking, I'm gonna bang that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fucking alright. That.
So are you trying to work out a way to get rid of it?
Old girl had two first half, like
she worked at a nude strip club.
Yeah.
Right. So she was attractive.
Yeah, she's very attractive.
Yeah.
So skinny or
skinny, half black, half white. What do you call them? Mulattoes.
Mixed race.
Mixed race.
Yeah. I think the mulatto is kind of dark, isn't it?
That's a mallard.
Yeah. Sorry, a Mexican duck. So,
love it.
So she's flashing your vagina, and you're just thinking, how do we get rid of him? I know, spaghetti bolognese.
Well, basically, we were talking, and I thought I'd just get him out of the room. And she said she was going to like taser. Well, I first got the taser gun out. And I started tasing myself a little bit.
That was his party trick. He just bust the taser out and just started tasing himself.
And people are gathering around, sort of going, "That's impressive."
Yeah. I mean, I'd literally just do it on my arm there until
they'd be laughing like he was getting tickled.
And it didn't hurt.
Oh yeah, it hurt, it burned. You could see the mark. You'd have like I wouldn't just do it for this. I'd leave it. I think a minute 30 seconds was the longest I had it on for, but it actually scarred. So she's going on. She goes, "I'll do my pussy." She said, "But we've got to get rid of him." I said, "Oh, get him to make some spaghetti bolognese." Because that's in the kitchen. I had the ingredients for spaghetti bolognese.
It's like ready, steady, cooked.
That and Doritos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she basically sent him in there, and then she did the show, and like fucking, she gets a pussy out, and I got the taser out. She gets the clit out, and I just zap her, and she's just like, she's fucking absolutely fucking loving it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking right now? I wonder where she is right now.
She's on my Facebook. She's popped back up.
Unbelievable.
Next time we'll get her on the phone.
Yeah. I mean, all right, but bring her here. Yeah. Let's see it.
Please don't.
I'm thinking to myself though, like, imagine being that girl, and now we're all having a fucking story. Like, she's legendary. She's solidified.
I guess that's one way of putting it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
She's like a tattoo model or something now. She's totally down still. She would buzz to talk to you guys, I guarantee.
Brian's ideal woman.
That would be amazing.
Oh, you'd love her.
So is this... So, just to be clear, because I'm trying to build up a picture of your character at that time.
Yeah.
Were you sort of girlfriend to girlfriend, or was it sort of just like, this woman over here, this woman over
Bonnie
here?
and Clyde with this one.
Right.
Once he met her.
Oh yeah, it was Wild Woman, wasn't it?
It seems a lot
she was back in England, Wild Woman.
It seems a lot like you were quite...
Once I met her, I wasn't fucking around.
Right.
I didn't need to, fucking hell.
So on the timeline, sorry to interrupt, lads.
Yeah.
On the timeline, so right now in my head, it's like You've come to Arizona. You've made friends with the mafia and
He's
all
told
that.
Wild Woman he's gone to get a bottle of milk and jumped on the plane to Arizona.
That's the one thing we forgot to let. You told your girlfriend at the time,
Yeah.
I'm going for a bottle of milk, and you got on a plane and went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Not the one you got pregnant.
No, I said I was going to get a newspaper.
Sorry.
Right.
And then
From America. He just didn't tell the whole story. You can't complain. I didn't say which newspaper.
Just popping out for the New York Times. The what? Nothing.
and then my cousin come and pick me up, Hammy,
Yeah.
and brought me to the airport. And then when I got deported and went back there, I actually went round with the newspaper.
Oh wow!
And she actually took me back in.
So you'd been mixing with drugs for a while. Why did you get deported? Was it just your time?
There was an
up in America?
escalation of things.
Right. Was there a last straw?
Escalation of drugs, escalation of crime, everything just escalated.
Crime.
Yeah.
Well, I had to leave. How I ended up in this apartment in the first place is where he put me in this Mexican area. There's basically a guy come round and having a bit of a party. He was smoking some crack and stuff.
Just gathering.
He's gathering, yeah. Just making friends.
Yeah. Do you want to come round for my crack party? Yeah, that sounds lovely, yeah.
And he's with his girlfriend. His girlfriend goes over the road to score off the Mexicans. So I'm talking to this guy, and he's got a gun. And this is all new to me. I've only been in America. How long have I been in America then?
Months, wasn't it?
It was about 3 months,
You're
something
fitting
like
in quite well there.
that. Getting on, you know what I mean? They'd say good morning to me in Spanish around there anyway.
Nice.
The neighbours like me.
Yeah.
And
They're all drug dealers, of course.
So, cut a long story short, this guy shows me his gun and all that, and then I give it him back, and he said, "This is how we do it in America." Put the gun to his head and shot himself on my door.
Dead.
Dead.
I got a call at the brokerage from my aunt saying, "You need to get up to Peter's apartment right now. It's headline news, and there's police tape all over his street. He might have killed himself, or he might be dead."
So why did that person kill himself?
I have no clue to
Shooting
this
accident.
day. I have no clue to this day.
Yeah.
He must have thought the safety was on.
Yeah.
Or like sort of fucking Russian roulette style shit. Like just.
That needs a spinning barrel, though.
He was on drugs and
Yeah, it
Right.
was, yeah. He was just literally. He must have just thought the thing, and it was just an offhand comment. He said, "This is how we do it in America." Put the gun to his head, and I was just expecting to hear click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, loud then.
Yeah.
Jeez, my ears are fucking ringing.
What was your reaction?
Well, half about worried about my ears and seeing half dead body, half in the house, half out the fucking house. First reaction was, "Oh fucking hell, what the neighbours going to say about this?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His head's fucking got a big hole in it. He's hanging fucking outside the fucking door.
Was that the first time you'd seen a dead body?
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen a gun on a dead body.
So how did that impact you? Because for a lot of people, that sort of fucks you up a bit.
I didn't really want to stay in that neighbourhood I stayed there for a couple of weeks afterwards, but it was just kind of.
he said he was having nightmares.
I was having nightmares about it. It was a bit weird, you know what I mean?
But
You were a little bit haunted by it.
You fucking would, mate. Like that's pretty normal.
It really got to me a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I'm thinking, whoa, fucking hell. I'd go to sleep and then I'd see it repeating in my head, and then I'd stopped doing drugs for a bit. Then I started drinking just fucking, what was it called? Fucking 40 ounces, fucking King Cobras,
All right, yeah,
malt liquor,
yeah.
and I was just drinking them for a bit, and then fucking.
He wasn't getting along with his roommates either.
No,
The Mexicans.
No, he had some roommates.
Oh, right, okay.
And I showed up.
some dirty smackhead.
Right.
I showed up, and Wildman's in their side of the house. They're wriggling around on the floor, and he's dropping the TV on one, picking it up, and then dropping the TV on the
You
other.
make it sound like it's my fault. It's like.
Right.
They did provoke him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He dropped the TV on his own ankle. He dropped the TV on his own ankle, and it was that big. Trying to drop it on the heroin addict. His ankle was that big, and he's like, "I'm not going hospital. I'm self-healing."
Honestly,
Yeah. I'm self-healing.
this podcast has had some mad shit, right? We've had some mad people on
Yeah.
here, but
He's sitting right there.
St. Sam's madder than me.
Yeah.
One of my
St.
favourite
Sam's.
lines ever is the guy shot his fucking own face off. He's fucked up about it, and then he goes, and he wasn't getting on with his roommates.
People said I was mad.
What the fuck?
Looking at your podcast, I was a mental person. Wildman's stuff 10 times more mental.
Oh, let's get into it.
But they did provoke you, didn't he?
Yeah, they did provoke me. He left the needles and shit round in my house.
He warned them
Right.
not to leave needles on his side in the bathroom and stuff, and they left needles.
He did warn him.
He could have stood on it and contracted something.
Did warn him.
An eye for an eye.
Yeah. It's the same with it, like, if you leave your toothbrush out, you don't want to...
And I'd done the ankle link, and Dom asked with me fucking aim, he must have wriggled his head, and I just went to get right on his head, but I got half the ankle as well.
So did they recover from that? Or?
Oh yeah, they was well. I didn't kill them. They weren't dead. They were all right.
So you end up going home after this all gets too much.
No, he moved me to St.
This is just his first residence.
Right.
Really?
This is the escalation.
Yeah.
No, I don't want it.
The escalation is just beginning.
All right. Okay. This is the.
He hooks us up with the Mexican mafia guys and all this other stuff, and he's got Russian mafia coming over at his next place.
Right.
So there's a place before that, wasn't it? The Gangster Disciples place. Where he put his head through the wall.
Well, I couldn't leave the country anyway at that point because the police, the homicide guy, and them, they took me down and they took my passport off me.
Right. Because they wanted you not to go anywhere because you were technically a suspect at that point. Right.
So I was there for. It was at the apartment for about. I'd say about. It happened within 6 weeks of me being there, so
Probably,
I was probably there about 12 weeks. And then the homicide people come, and I thought, oh, sound, get my passport back. And they did, they come up and said, class that as, what was it?
Shooting accident.
Accident, yeah.
Wow. And did you have drugs in the house? They didn't come and investigate the house? Because
the thing about Wellman is he consumes all his drugs immediately.
Right.
So if the police come into his house, they're in his body.
Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But the thing is, I mean, there's a Netflix series on right now called The Staircase, where the girl's found at the bottom of the staircase, and the husband, did he do it? Did he not do it?
Yeah.
Right.
And with you, I don't know. There's a guy with a hole in his fucking head and a smoking gun there.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, looking at you and the behaviour that you showed prior to that, you did well not to get fucking the blame for that.
We did a gunpowder test. Shows who shot the gun.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They took me down there and all that, but let me go. But they took my passport.
So they must have thought you definitely did it before they did the test.
They would have known right away. Yeah.
Right. And so after that, where do you then go?
Gangster Disciples apartment on the west side.
What does that mean? Gangster Disciples?
This is our job.
What does any of this mean? Gangster Disciples, it genuinely sounds like an area in Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Well, this is like, he said, this is him keeping me out of trouble. He puts me in these areas.
I know a safe bit. Gangster Disciples.
He sets me fucking up, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
Out of trouble.
Yeah.
So, who are the Gangster's Disciples?
Remember, he put his head through the wall.
Yeah.
So I go up there and sign for this place for a while, man.
So this is a new place.
Yeah, I say my cousin's over. He's visiting from England and to tell the rental place. He's a good lad. We want to just keep him in here for a bit. Blah blah blah. And,
you're still earning million, like the big money.
Not yet. I'm not. This is just the first visit.
Right.
He comes back in the late 90s when I've got the big money.
But you're still quite well off at that point.
I'm coming up making hundreds of thousands.
Okay, so you can afford to put a little apartment somewhere for him. You're okay at that point, right?
Well, I do that, yeah, but you'll see what happens to them.
Right.
Oh yeah. I'm putting him a safe distance from my house right now.
Yeah.
So
it's nice, isn't it? I'll come to America, but stay away from your house.
Arm's length.
Yeah. See, I bring you to the area I live. That shows we're friends.
So he moves in there with these two women, and this gangster disciple dude who thinks he's tough. He's a bouncer. He's got his cowboy accent.
Did you not see the problem?
They haven't even cashed my check at the rental place, and I get a call saying Peter's been evicted because he's put his roommate's head through the plasterboard wall.
He tried to tell me these are the flat rules. These are the house rules, by the way.
And I said,
here's one. Boom.
I said, did you see him putting this guy's head through the plasterboard wall? And they said, no, we didn't see him putting his head through the plasterboard wall, but numerous of the neighbours saw the guy running scared for his life through the complex with powder all over his head and face.
And there's a hole in the wall. But he could have tripped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just to be clear,
they're just accusing me.
Did he trip?
No, I didn't.
He did think he was a tough guy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He fucked up, didn't he?
He did.
He picked the wrong one. He picked the wrong guy.
Yeah.
That happens to me today, though. There's some people sort of give it that, and you look at it and you think, oh, you picked the wrong guy.
Yeah.
You fucked me
Whoever
up.
looks at you and thinks, I'll start a fight with him.
I tell you what, there was a guy pulled in. As I was waiting for a taxi the other day, pulled in right in front of us, and he went to sort of give a finger wagging in the passenger seat, and I just looked at him dead, like I was dead inside. Like, look, I think I
want you to do it.
I'll fucking
just do
take
it.
your soul, mate. Honestly. And then he just like put his hand like that. You came so close.
I like the story when you were doing the diving and you all go into the bar and you start singing the songs in the Scottish bar.
Christ almighty.
And like you got, I don't know, is it Jiu-Jitsu hall or something? You got this guy by.
Oh yeah.
You just kneeing him and kneeing him.
So that was my story on Deep Sea Dive one where two guys started on one of my mates. They both had pool cues. And I ended up putting one of them to sleep, basically.
Just to be clear, you've got a wild story when Wildman saying to you, I like that story.
That's a badge of honour. Yeah. That's like Alan Shearer saying, you like the goal I scored.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you scored any goals,
I'll
each that
take
one's
that.
one.
Thank you very much.
So,
something's clicking in my head now. The woman I'm with, she knew people who were addicted to crack, and she's like, you got to get Wildman away from Central Phoenix. Now, people
should have put me fucking there in the first place, but there you go.
Tempe was like the party town, University of Arizona. It wasn't like a crack meth infested neighbourhood, it was more like the club drug scene.
Yeah, it was party.
So I moved.
Young college girls.
Right.
It was a move up in life.
How old are you at that point? 20... mid-20s, right?
What would
This is Rancho Marietta.
So you said you were 18.
Marietta.
You were 18 when you first went. Now you're at this new place. How many years later?
We're in his 20s now. No. I'm mid 20s, mid to getting just past mid 20s. You're 2 years.
It was 96. You took me there.
He's got to be in 22, 23.
96, and I was born in 71. So whatever that is.
Right. So you're 25ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're still very much in your prime of your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
College girls.
Big tough guy, from England. You're a little bit exotic.
So he moves into Tempe in this apartment. That's where you met the woman with the taser stuff.
Right.
And basically they say to me, there's this apartment, he's behind on his rent, and I'll pay the rent. So I start paying the rent. As soon as Wildman moves in, all the furniture starts to slowly disappear.
Right. Minimalist.
Mexican mafia dudes are coming over, Russian mafia dudes. Native American transgender people.
Why are they coming by?
People are cooking crack in the kitchen.
More spaghetti bolognese.
Did you just say Native American transgender?
Yeah.
As in all
he-she's.
It was an eclectic mix.
Good-looking he-she's.
Wherever Wildman went,
I thought Native American people were rare, let alone Native American transgender.
Oh. Yeah. Wherever Wildman went, he always had an eclectic mix of party people would come over, and he was running the area.
No one can say you're racist. That's what damn sure. Come all.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome,
so to speak. He's LGBT friendly. Yeah.
You can say what you want about violence. He likes them all. Everyone.
Yeah. He'll beat everyone up equally. Do you know what I mean?
It was this apartment.
So then he-she's will beat you up. I'm telling you.
It was this apartment where we started our first ecstasy parties. Okay. I was giving it away in the beginning, and the pills were going so fast. It's where I saw the business potential of it, and the ecstasy empire began in his apartment, Rancho Marietta in Tempe.
So, just in case anyone isn't aware,
I wasn't giving them away. I was getting money for them.
No, right. So you've seen the business potential, and just to refresh people's memory, how did you go from, all right, so on one hand you're a stockbroker at this point making good money.
Yeah.
How did you go from, there's a business opportunity here, to making the kind of money you did, and what kind of money was it again, just so people know?
All right, so at this point of the story, Wildman, I'm having so much fun with Wildman in these apartments versus all this rat race stuff. I'm thinking, I could make a lifestyle out of this.
Yeah. Do what you love.
Do what I love. And we went out to LA, just started buying, in the thousands at a time, low thousands at a time. You came out a few times, and we drive out to LA and stuff, and you'd be in the car outside.
Yeah, because I was over.
In case anything went wrong.
At first I thought I was only 18, but I'm just working it out now. She kicked me out at that stage. And
you're still going back to when you were in England.
Yeah, and then I did prison when I was 21. On my 21st birthday, I got my sentence.
Yeah.
So then when I got out...
You're in your low to mid-20s for this part of the story.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just, it all sort of blends in, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially with that kind of drug.
So where did the money come from?
Well, Wildman, at this point, Wildman's is going to accelerate into insanity and get deported. And I'm then going to keep building this ecstasy organisation while he's back in the UK.
Right.
And he's not going to come back now until about 3 years later.
So what happens?
At which point now it's like a multi-million-dollar.
So what happens in those? Just to give a condensed sort of refresher for people who might not have seen episode 2. What happens in that?
Wild Man opens so many doors for me. Like I said, he meets these people, he tracks these people. They were all the key people that I then hired to work in the organisation.
So this is the New Mexican Mafia, is it?
They were protecting us through G-Dog, yeah. But generally it was like the local rave scene.
Right.
So all these little rave cliques are competing against each other, and they come into Wild Man because they got beefs and they want Wild Man to sort things out for them. But in the end, what we did was we united them all together and had them all working together under our control, didn't we?
Love.
And we got into the college scene by basically we'd front them pills until to the point where, you know, eventually one of them's going to fuck up and not owe you the money.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, all right, well, you just go to Amsterdam, pick you some pills up and call the debt quits. So
simple.
So, yeah.
And so were you going to all the frat houses and things like that?
Yeah.
Well, they would come to Rancho Marietta
right.
and buy loads of pills, yeah.
So it's weirdly, you work a bit like me and you, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Different, but work really well together because you're sort of, you know, the mastermind behind getting the money and all of that in the operation, and you are quite a feared guy in this respect. So you know, you're the one telling them, all right, we'll call the debt off if you do the fucking Amsterdam trip for us.
The best way to get people to pay me money was not to have Wild Man beat them up. It was to have Wild Man move in with them.
Right.
And I used that method. I used that method for years. Because, like I said, as soon as he moves in, your furniture's gone. All these characters are coming over. They'd leave within weeks. Everyone was terrified of Wild Man moving in with them.
Right. You are a really good duo. Do you know what I'm saying, though? It's like, you work well together.
But to get him back in the country, that was not easy.
So how much money are you making roughly monthly, would you say, by the time because you've continued the operation while Wild Man's being back in England?
Yeah.
How much money would you say monthly you're making? Because there's some big numbers in there.
Alright, so it's building up. It's not a set amount. It's just getting bigger and bigger each year till the peak year. Peak year was probably about 99, whereby I've got people coming back with up to 40,000 hits at a time.
34,000 hits, as
hits
in
of ecstasy.
Pills.
So
what is their worth? Street value?
They pay about $2-3
in Holland. I pay $2 or $3,
and they'd go for 20.
They go for 20 to 30 in America. So but I front them out to the heads of my divisions at $10. So say I'll give a head of one division 5,000 pills at 10.
Yeah, that's 50
on credit.
Yeah,
and then he sells them to his middleman, who then sells them onto the street. So I don't have to interact with any of that. I'm just sat back. Collecting the money.
So 30,000-40,000 pills.
If I'm getting 10,
street value,
free.
What is that, like a 600 grand basically?
Yeah.
Street value.
If I'm fronting them out at 10 and paying 2 or 3 on 30,000-40,000, my actual profit will be about $250,000.
But the street value that they eventually go for is 20.
Street value is like 600,000-700,000. Yeah.
So that's it, and that's monthly.
That's could be monthly if we're having a run, but sometimes there were unpredictable things that would arise in that business. So
you come back in. So you left where it was a much smaller operation. By the time you come back, you're really fucking going for it.
Well, I knew he was doing better. My apartment's got nicer and that.
Yeah,
he put me in nicer areas. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right.
Reward.
So what happened when you were back in England? Have we covered that yet?
Oh no,
we've not covered that.
Right, so you go back to England.
He goes back to Wild Woman now. He's got some explaining to do.
So you've got the newspaper.
I've got the newspaper. She fucking kicks me in the balls. Literally kicks me in the balls.
What was that?
And fucking tells me to come in, and we made love that night, and she let me back in. Yeah. She said, "Don't ever leave me again."
Are you still with her?
No.
So you didn't listen then?
I'm with another wild woman now.
Right.
The new wild woman.
Yeah.
So she
new
says,
and improved.
Yeah. She says to you, "Never leave me," and you go, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
How soon do you leave after that?
She comes.
I bring her with her.
She ended up number 2 in the crime syndicate.
So every time you say you're going for a newspaper after that, she's going, "No, you're fucking no, I've got a suitcase."
All right. So what happens in England over those 3 years then? So take us through the timeline.
I move in with her. And then everything's going okay, and I also have a little flat in Witness Town Centre too. And like that's basically just where I'd go and smoke weed and stuff like that. You know, if we ever did go out, I'd go out with my mates, because she'd always moan about me bringing people back and like staying up till all hours. She had 3 kids as well. So I'd have this party place where we'd just go. I wouldn't cheat on her, I wouldn't do fuck all like that, I wouldn't take no bitches back or hoes back, but I'd just get high and get drunk and fucking... But one of the roommates there, once again roommates, one of them tried to, as we partying, one of them tried to hit my little brother. Cut a long story short, I throw him down the stairs and stamp on his head a few times, and I fuck him up, and he ends up fucking going hospital, and he can't speak for like about 2 or 3 months or something like that, and he do me for like a section 18 and something intent to, and I'm looking at fucking serious fucking time again, aren't I? So while I'm waiting for the charges, I'm thinking, fuck. I'm saying, do you fancy coming fucking America? And she's like, no, what about the kids? I said, well, let the dad have the kids for a while. He's always fucking minding and wanting to see her anyway. And then fucking eventually we set up house there and we'll bring them over. It's not a problem. Oh, I'll do anything for you, just don't leave me. Okay then. And that's how we end up going back over. But I couldn't travel with them. They travelled straight into America. I had to go via a different country.
Which country? Mexico?
Well, the first one was Mexico, wasn't it?
I had to send like Mission Impossible style teams of people through multiple countries due to his various deportations for being a menace to society.
But
you don't have to say it like that. You don't have to call me menace to society. I'm not a menace to fucking society. I was just fucking misunderstood.
So how did you earn money in the time you were back in England? Did you just go and get another job in the crisp factory or what?
No, I was just dole. Government, yeah. Okay. Just dole. And she'd be on the sick. She'd get her own money, and then the fucking baby's father would pay £100 a week.
Right.
So that was baby bare money.
It all adds together, doesn't it?
But the kids got the money. Like I didn't spend the money.
No,
on
I don't think. No one's questioning that.
But my dole was basically my own, so I had my beer money.
So
and my flat was free as well.
Why?
Because I was on the dole.
You get a free flat.
Council house.
Right, council house. Okay, right.
Sorry, I've got to educate Lawrence on.
I didn't know whether you had it for other sort of nefarious reasons. Do you know what I mean?
If he's got a mate, another mate.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Right.
No.
So, you then go back to America,
and by this point you're rich as fuck.
So
basically,
I've got a situation as well.
All right then.
Which one of them?
Because the second time you come was the schoolie situation,
yes,
was it?
Yes, it was.
Right, so I've got this multi-million-dollar thing now going, and my drug debt's probably about $500,000 right now of all the people who work for me.
All right.
My right-hand man, who was my top ecstasy salesperson, he's the one who Sammy the Bull's crew knocked his teeth out and stuff like that, and he got into smoking embalming fluid. He was smoking crack, smoking crystal meth, and he started to plot against me, and he started to poison some of my other bouncers' minds against me. And
seems to me, Shaun, like having a mate like him might be ideal for this situation.
I think that's why me, the wife and kids coming over.
Lovely.
So he comes on his own. In the beginning he's on his own, so I pick him up from the Greyhound bus station. He's been smuggled, and first stop is this guy's house.
Do you tell him at this point what's been going on?
On the way to the house.
This cunt needs sorted.
Well, I say I want you to assess the situation, because here's what's happened. I've got a lot of
assess the situation.
I want to throw him over the fucking balcony. That's what I want to do.
I've got a lot of internal strife right now. This guy, we'll call him Skinner. I had my own LSD chemist. He was manufacturing LSD. We had an apartment just for it. Thousands and thousands of hits laid out, gel tabs. So my LSD chemist got all this stuff in his house as well. And Skinner tells my LSD chemist guy, we're going to come over there, we want to buy so many tens of thousands of hits of LSD. But he brings over these Southside gangsters with guns. But my LSD chemist was suspicious from the get-go. So he had guys with AKs and everything in the back of the house. Right. They come over to pretend to buy the acid. They were going to rob the guy. Remember D, the big guy? He pulls out a shotgun, starts shooting. The guys with the AK start unloading. bullets start going through all the neighbours' houses, and this is headline news.
Right.
So LSD guy is blaming Skinner. Skinner's blaming LSD guy, and this was one of the main problems I had, because this had just happened when Wildman got there as well. So we're like, we're just gonna go in and calmly ask Skinner for his side of the story, and that's what we did.
So what happened next then?
I wanted to brain him. I really did.
Why is that, mate? Did you not trust him from day one?
No, not day one.
Yeah.
The first time I met him, day one, just a story, you could just tell. He was just fucking... He was off his head. When you've been off your head enough times, you know when you're off your fucking head, you know what I mean?
Oh,
and his stories and the way he was going on and on and on. I thought, I don't trust this bastard, I'll just have him. And I said, look, just let me have him. Just either throw him over the balcony or take him to the desert and have him. And he said, no, because he's making me the most money. I said, look, at the end of the day, I said, he might be making the most money, but you got your acid guy. So if you got two fucking people in your firm who are fucking making lots of money and they're at war, you're the one losing fucking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was more to it than that as well, because he had a girlfriend, Marie, this Iranian American lady who was really tough, and she was really supportive of everything I was doing, and they had a baby together.
Whose girlfriend? Skinner.
So if Skinner...
Well, you should have thought about that, shouldn't you? That's all. That's you and your sensible fucking side, that.
Ultimately, Skinner's, what he did later on, took the whole organisation down. Wildman was right, but I thought if we escalated things to that level of violence against people who were working for me, the police would get involved and it would just...
So you try to play things cool, calm them down.
Yeah, I'm the negotiator, the diplomat.
No, that's why you two, like me and Lawrence, that's why you two work well together. Do you know what I mean? You're the sensible
You're
one.
the diplomat.
He's like, let's take him out to the desert. I'm like, we're not going to the murder level.
So you talked him out of that, and that never happened at the time. What happened next then?
Well, he put the fear of God in him, because as soon as Skinner answers the door, he sees me, he's like, big brother, and he's hugging me and everything, smiling. And as soon as he sees him, his face just
Did he know who he was? That was the story.
Oh, he'd heard the stories.
If you'd have sat and listened to him for 5 minutes, Brian, you'd have thought, something wrong about this. You know what I mean? Just a story.
Wildman's presence did put him in check for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it didn't last.
Because a cunt's always a cunt.
So, your presence, and then what?
So Wildman's back in America now.
Yeah.
Putting you up at the Ramada and stuff like that, aren't
I'm in a hotel now.
With the family?
We have a little apartment.
By the month, not just by the day either.
Wow.
Yeah. None of them we get up at 12. Mexican lady knocking on the door. Room service.
His first night in His first night in Tempe. His first night in Tempe. We have a little welcoming back for Wildman party. LSD guy shows up to give Wildman his side of the story, and we believe his side of the story. So a few people show up. Everything's going quite cool, mellow. People are enjoying themselves. And then this guy showed up who just said a few wrong things that Wildman took objection to and ended up getting thrown down the stairs. And the next thing...
Wildman threw him down the stairs.
Yeah, and the next thing, the police are on the way. But I don't know this. There's a noise complaint. Front office has been told. They contact me about a noise complaint. I say I'm going to keep it down, send everybody home. Now, the only two people left in the hotel room now are Wildman and another one of my bouncers called Robbie Righetti. I used to tell Robbie Righetti stories about Wildman before he came over. Robbie Righetti said he's bigger in life than I possibly imagined. He picked me up and threw me around like I was a teddy bear.
Right.
I lived with Robbie for a while.
So these guys
Yeah, very good guy, yeah. He was Italian. Good spaghetti.
Yeah.
These guys.
Which is obviously what you always recommend.
Robbie Righetti's making you spaghetti. And you two are good friends, right?
Yeah,
okay,
ideal.
get it.
So I think when there's no noise now, we'll settle down, problem's over, next thing, knock at the door.
Right.
I look through the door, peephole, the apartment guy, a hotel guy with a policeman. So I think Wildman's back, it's his first day, I've spent over 10,000 smuggling him back in, and now here's what's going to happen. He's going to get arrested and deported right away. So the hotel guy says, can we come in? I said no, everybody's gone home, it's gone quiet. You know, New Mexico Mafia schooled me on what to say to the police and people like this. And the policeman turned to the hotel man and said, do you give me permission to come in to look for property damage?
Right.
And the hotel man goes, yes, I give you permission. And the police just barged past me. Right. And I'm thinking, fuck. So Wildman and Righetti are on the bed, like you're pretending to be asleep or something, like on these beds. And the police and the hotel man, they're going like rustling through the trash, ashtrays, looking for like evidence of weed or something, so they can call all the cops out and have us all arrested. But there was no evidence of anything like that. And you pop your head up, your big bloodshot eyes, and saying this demented voice. What was he saying?
I said, what's going on? I'm in work in the morning.
That's it. I'm in work in the morning. I'm working in the morning.
Normal?
Yeah. The cops like, who are these? And I kind of blagged him a bit, and then they left suspiciously quickly. And then what started to happen was I was scoping out the area, and police cars were gathering up the road, and they were going to do a full-on swoop and just arrest all of us, because this little cop probably couldn't have done much against him. He had all these backup guys up the road.
Well, he could have. He had a fucking gun.
Yeah, but you could have just knocked him out or something. Yeah. He probably felt threatened. So I'm like, all right, we're just getting the fuck out of here right now. We left so quickly and through this route that like I got cactus spine stuck in my leg and everything.
Yeah, you want to see cactus? Let's have a look.
Got in the SUV, and then I took him to my. We dodged the cops, and I took him to a $1 million house on the side of the mountain, the gated guarded community.
Yeah. Went
to bed with my wife. Woke up the next day. Wildman is like on the porch, like asleep like a grizzly bear, just with his face up like this in the heat, in the sun of the desert, completely covered in cactus spines. Christ. The area I live, the real estate person said, don't go outside of the house perimeter because of the rattlesnakes and the cactuses and the dangerous insects. Wildman had just wandered the whole neighbourhood the night, fallen down ravines, just got completely covered. We were out there just picking all these cactus spines out of him.
Painful, right?
Oh, I've never seen a house so much, like, you know what I mean? It's in the desert and all that, and you know, and he's got this nice swimming pool, and he's got this, and there's like little snakes and stuff going around.
Lizards.
So I thought I'd walk around, and he had these big, huge tarantulas fucking on the back of
the
So I went for a walk around, fucking tripped over, fell in these cactuses, fucking knackered. Then fucking started drinking some tequila and fell asleep. Between my legs, and actually fallen asleep in the fucking sun as well, though, because I was fucking sunburnt to fuck.
Yeah.
And that hurt. But why he threw that guy down the fucking stairs, you must think this guy throws a lot of people down the stairs, doesn't he? He actually got a fucking good headbutt on me. We were at this the house party thing. And like he was a snide little, he was like a jock. What I mean by a jock, he was an American footballer.
Yeah.
And he was just basically like, we got talking, or I might have bumped into him, or he bumped into me, and something was fucking said.
Oh, he was starting shit, yeah.
And then he was just like fucking trying to be gobby. And he had like sort of small man syndrome. He was small, really stocky. So we come up and said, "Oh, we've got no beef," and he went to hug me. So I thought, fair enough. As he went to hug me, he fucking headbutted me and got me right in his fucking mouth there.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
Then the whole.
It's on now.
That's a dirty move as well, though, isn't it?
It was weird because everyone was on ecstasy.
Hug to fucking butt.
Yeah.
The whole room was like a big wave.
That would
the
really
two of them.
fuck me off.
Yeah.
There was like people pulling you back, people pulling him back, and the whole room was like this big wave.
That was because you were on drugs, mate.
Everyone's trying to
it's so wavy.
Sean's like just going, it's a beautiful wave, everyone's just having a good time.
And our gangster mate, G-Dog, he's got a gun and everything, hasn't he?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, fucking hell.
Do you know that picture you've just painted of like him cactus all over a £1 million house, like by the pool? Not, it's like this has to be made into a movie. It is such a mental fucking story.
Where was the lady you were with at this point? Was she back in the hotel, the Ramada Hotel?
That's wild.
No, he comes over on his own first.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
She comes later.
So this is the welcome home party. What a
Yeah.
fucking party, by the way.
So she's still back in England at that point?
Yeah.
But I sent the
Yeah.
tickets to get her. I kept me promising to get her over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you ever go back to that hotel after all that shit? Or did you
No. There were some hotels where you could get away with shit, and I knew where they were, and we focused on
So
them.
they were like sort of friendly to you? Or whatever.
Yeah, and we had friendly limo drivers, but we had a limo driver who was unfriendly, and we were all going to rave. I got a limo, didn't I, out? And was it your birthday or Wild Woman's birthday?
Wild Woman's birthday.
It's Wild Woman's birthday, another one of my workers' birthdays. Get this limo. So we're all looking forward to having a good time going this rave. And there's a bottle of GHB. Now, gamma hydroxide butyrate, you drink a cap full of it, and that's your high, you know.
My dad used to be addicted to this, by the way.
Yeah.
He fucking loved it.
Brilliant.
So the bottle goes,
Drink it.
you drink a cap full
lovely.
of it, Bodybuilders used to drink it. It relaxes you, puts you in deep sleep, promotes muscular growth.
That's why my dad liked it.
Yeah. So you drink a cap full of it. It's quite a nice high, actually. It's my second favourite after E. So the bottle's going around from person to person in the limo. Wildman just goes fuck off and drinks the whole bottle.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
I mean, because the whole point is if you stay awake on that, you're a wreck, aren't you?
You should have seen the amount of emergency workers, health workers, ambulances and fire engines and everything that came to try and forklift Wildman out of this limo.
I couldn't stand up. Couldn't get up. I just went.
He stood up.
I was literally
He went to stand up. I watched it hit him literally. He went to stand up and he went. And then he just went. It was like he'd been electric shocked.
It's known though, like a cap, like a little shot.
Yeah.
You're done for the night.
Yeah.
You drink. Well, how many caps worth?
I'd probably say it was like it wasn't a bottle that big. It was probably more. I'd say like. Like you get them kids' juice bottles.
Yeah, like that.
A bottle about that size.
Right, so
I'd neck that.
10 times what you're supposed to.
Then the limo driver snitches us out. And next, the cops are trying to like drug test people and everything, and then we're dodging the limo.
I wake up in hospital with little tubes that around me and all that. But the good thing about it is, it doesn't come up as drugs.
Right.
I love how we find the positives in this.
Yeah.
You're a very positive man.
You've got to be, haven't you?
So you're on your come up right now. He's back in town. He's your heavy sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you're the Godfather, he's Luca Brazzi, basically. He's the Fiat motherfucker.
Yeah,
who you would send after
definitely.
So what happens now? You're on the come up. You're making more money. This for me is the part where.
Well, not just me too. Like Joey as well.
Yeah.
G-Dog.
Yeah.
If this was Scarface, this is the bit where the montage kicks in and it's and all the money's piling up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all happening.
Yeah.
You're having fun now.
Yeah.
Were you actually counting money like that at that time?
No, I had a guy who did it for me.
Really?
Right. Did you ever see anyone in one of those machines? Because they look fun.
We rented an apartment for it. Yeah. He did it all in there.
Wow.
Had it in sports bags.
Push it to the limit. I love that song, by the way.
You know you have so much money when you rent an apartment just to count
for
your
the
money. Do you know what I mean?
You got so much money, you just got a guy who you rent it and you pay him to count your fucking money.
Yeah.
Should have let me count it.
Right?
That would have went. That would not have went well.
If he'd have found out where that apartment was, would have gone.
Are you? See, you remind me of my old man a bit, like because you're quite an extremist, like in the sense of everything you do, you want to take it as far as you possibly can.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm like that. I wish they had the cut off.
Calmed down a lot.
I've calmed down a lot now. Yeah.
That just come with age over time. Do you think you just sort of calm down?
I just think it's being married, timid. Scared of me fucking wife.
At some point though, you've experienced like all of those extremes.
It's kind of been there, seen it and done it, and like it's just.
You've got
it's quite nice. It's quite nice to sit down and I've got a dog, an Alaskan Malamute called Sadie. It's quite nice to chill with my dog and chill with my wife.
Relax.
Well, she goes upstairs and watches TV when she comes in from work. I fit kitchens with my dad through the week, so like when I finish work, I like to kick it with my dog. And just like fucking say it's the wife, like, you know what I mean? Make her a tea and just fucking chill.
What does she think of your stories? And when did you guys?
She's not really that. Well, she's complete opposite to me. Like she worked in the council most of her life, and now she's an ombudsman service person. She works for ombudsman service. She's like him, a clever ass with degrees and all that crap. But
you found the female version of Shaun, basically.
Yeah.
It's got more her than me though. So he's in the Tucson Ramada.
All right.
That didn't end well.
Okay.
Can I be nice for a second before you get into the fucking match shit again? God, we had a nice moment there when I was coming out, it was good.
No, don't worry, mate. We're going to tell the whole fucking thing. I've got enough drink. I'm going to be here until we finish this.
So was that a nice hotel? The Ramada is quite a nice hotel.
It was nice, yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's known for being flash as fucking at the Ramada.
Yeah.
Come downstairs, breakfast, come downstairs, have your tea, nice filet mignons.
He's got his spending money, his
Unbelievable.
crack allowance and his steak allowance.
Yeah.
Are you giving him sort of pocket money to be your
he's got
hitman?
a crack and a steak allowance. We're going to strip clubs, having meals and everything's getting along nicely in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was a few situations went down at the Ramada.
Like what?
These situations, it always looked me bad.
I'll be honest.
It was me being the arsehole.
So I'm thinking, he's finished in Tucson now. Let's move him to Phoenix. Now, like I said, everybody feared Wildman moving in with them, but I had this really tough female friend, Sally Wack, who she said she called herself the head of the Department of Dykes. Wherever we went raving, she'd be like getting all these women and doing the dyke triangles and stuff like that with them.
So what's a dyke triangle?
You asked that on the first podcast. Mm-hmm. Well, there's the head to tail in a triangle formation.
just so everyone can know.
I'm selling Wildman on moving in with her, and
you can watch.
She knows what he's like.
She's walk around naked.
So I call her up
every day, just doing the hoovering, completely naked.
I call her up and say, look.
Oh
yeah.
Fit.
I call her up and say, look. She's like, I can't have Wildman in Tucson anymore. He's got a bit hot up here. And first thing she said was, move him in with me. I'm like, Sally Watt.
I'm expecting click.
Look at everybody's places that he's moved in with. Do you seriously want that happening to you? And she was like, he won't fuck with me like that. I'll have him walking my dogs, and I've got a problem with some people right now. Get him down here.
All right, so you can benefit her in a way.
Yeah, and she's got two American pits too.
We showed up. She answers,
you like dogs?
Yeah.
She answers the door completely naked. She just spent half the day completely naked, basically. She got all her vagina pierced. Wildman's like, I could get used to this.
Right. Do you want another one, or are you?
Yes, let's get him another. Look after her.
So I give her his allowance, and he's then settled in her place next.
Thank you.
Can you remember what his allowance was out of interest?
It depends how long it was for. It was at least like $100 a day or something like that for his food and his drugs.
Which is quite generous, actually.
And endless free drugs.
It's a wage. It's a wage, really.
Yeah,
isn't
well, the drugs they didn't really charge me for.
That added up to a lot more. They just give you thousands of hits.
I can imagine.
Well, I'd just go to the fucking dealers where I collected the fucking money as well. So I'd go and literally fucking know who's just being dropped off the fucking door, and then I'd go and hit them up and say, I'll give you a couple of fucking bags, will you? And when I come to collect it, I'll just sort it out. Shaun won't need to fucking know.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even see it. I got my other guy, Cody Bates. You got to collect this money before Wildman shows up at this place.
He's like a fucking termite in wood, isn't he? just chewing through it. Like, I love it. All right, so you sat with this Queen of the Dykes or whatever her fucking name is.
Head of the Department of Dykes.
Head of the department.
Yeah, Sally Watt.
Her own department.
She'd be like, I can nail any girl in here before any of you guys.
And she did too.
Straight girls, anything.
Oh, yeah,
she would have straight girls. She'd be like French kissing, eating them out, and like just like that. Yeah.
Fair play. Well,
Right.
Yeah.
so how was living
I
with
enjoyed
her?
staying there.
Yeah,
it was very therapeutic.
Did the house cleaning.
Yeah, completely naked. I'd wake up and just like, fucking hell, just see pussy in your face. And funny enough, I didn't bang it out because it was just like sort of normal, you know what I mean? I loved the dogs too. The dogs would come and fucking lick your face.
She was like a little sis, wasn't she?
Yeah, naked sis.
You sort of had a weird sort of friendship then, yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of them just looked up to Wildman as the protector.
Yeah, the teddy bear and that, but also the fucking mean cunt when you need it.
Yeah.
That works in our favour, mate. I get that.
You get that?
I connect with it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So that was good. What happened next then, lads?
What happened with her house then? She's alright, so
Did you run that into the ground the way you did the rest of them, or did that work out?
No, I think
was she
that was-
right when she said, I'll fucking tame him?
she did, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she
walking
did.
he was walking the dogs.
She was fucking right.
Yeah. She was the
Yes,
only
sir.
person who I think Wildman ended up leaving voluntarily, and she didn't actually move out of her own house.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh,
So
tell you what happened then.
she started going out with G-Dog, didn't she?
Yeah, Wild Woman come over, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, I showed up one time at Sally Wack's. Wildman's off his face on GHB&E. Sally Wack sat there naked, and Wildman's just giggling, and Wildman's on the phone all he can hear is, you motherfucker this, yeah, I'm gonna come over there, you fucking
GHB was
this,
my
you
favourite
fucking this.
drum. Every day I'd have, I'd be reasonable, I'd have 3 or 4 caps, but I'd love GHB. It was my favourite drug at the time, really. And I felt like it was kind of healthy for me as well.
Just sort of built muscle.
Well, I wasn't working out, but it felt good, you know what I mean?
Right.
So this is building up now to the entry of Wild Woman into the criminal
It relaxes
syndicate.
you.
Right. Look, it is a muscle relaxing. Right.
The whole idea, my dad said behind it, was when he'd gone to the gym and he would be fucking doing everything he could. Sleeping would help the muscles grow, so he would like almost force his body into it. But then he said when he'd stayed awake on it, it would be like he would be off his fucking.
So your old man, he'd work out hard,
Yeah.
take it, and then relax, and his muscles are relaxing, and
that was the theory behind it. But he said, but my dad loves he's taken everything you could ever fucking imagine, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he really took to that.
Yeah,
it was one of his favourites.
Yeah, if you drink on it, it really messes you up. I think that's why it got made illegal. Someone ran over a cop when they were on GHB and alcohol.
Genuinely, there's a fucking video of me as a kid, like, winding me dad up while he's on it. Like,
honestly.
And, like, pushing him and all that, and he's like, like, wake up, dad, wake up. I swear to God, I've got that video, and I was like, yeah. Lovely times.
Lovely times. Winding him up.
I didn't have a fucking clue at the time. But like, I just thought he was asleep.
Yeah.
Just ready to run out the door.
Do you know what I mean? But anyway.
So you move in with her, and then you move out of that place. Anything particularly notable happen in that time?
Well, the arrival of Wild Woman.
Yeah.
God.
The missus comes with kids.
So can you give us like a character description of what she was like?
Why did she end up getting called Wild Woman?
Oh, she ended up getting called Wild Woman for completely separate reasons to me. She was older than me. She was about 13, 14 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So, like...
So it wasn't just because she was your missus that she got called
No.
Wild. She earned the title.
Separately, they came together. The Wild Ones.
She was called that while she was living.
Wow.
But why she got called that is because she was in a pub, and she was a big girl, big lass. And she got called that because there was some woman had started saying something to her, and like fucking she ended up having a fucking bitch fight with her, and then the family tried to join in, the daughters come in, so she filled them in too, and then for the American people, filled in means smashed or whatever. Yeah, I was sick of translating for them. They need
was that your usual do you know, like, in terms of what kind of women you went for, did you have a physical type that you went for in a girl, like, or was it just whatever you're feeling at the time?
I didn't like the ones that would fucking sort of like be petite and all that. I wanted ones that would fucking, you know, argue with me and fucking confront me and fucking slap me, put a fucking pint glass over me fucking head.
You like that?
And she did. She stabbed him and everything.
No.
Gave him exactly what he wanted.
Why did you like that?
Do you like thicker girls, like, as in, like,
I like
curvy?
Yeah, I like
something that could take the power.
Yeah.
She sounds quite strong though.
Once again, same it.
She sounds quite strong as well though.
Oh yeah. People most.
she's like 4'11", tiny, proper.
And 4'11" wide.
Yeah, 4 foot. Well, I can't say that now.
Oh,
some people
but
more
at the time
scared of her than him.
Yeah, at the time she was a right fat bitch.
Right. God bless her.
Can't say that, but fair play.
Got stabbed many times. I'd go to City Bar or fucking look at a bird and get fucking a shank. You know what I mean?
With a knife or
Yeah.
like a sharp knife, like a
bread knife, whatever she got in fucking hand.
right. Okay. You got to work out what she's cutting.
What was the worst injury? This is a little. We'll come back to this. What's the worst injury you've ever occurred in a fight? Generally, was that
with her?
Just generally, like, what's the most that you thought? Fuck, I'm in trouble here. Have you ever had a worry like that, or you just?
Well, she broke my nose a couple of times.
Right.
I was talking to someone on the phone. She thought I was talking to a bird, and she got the phone, the headset bit, and smashed me in the face with it.
Fucking hell.
Broke my nose.
Oh, do you remember when we were like with all those ravers on that waterbed?
Oh God, yeah, that was a bad one. I'm fucking high as fucking E, and we've got these like candy ravers.
So Wild Man's come over, right? Wild Woman's come over, and he's like having a barney with her, and he's like, "Come on, let's go collecting debts, lad, shooting pool." And I've got this like laid back guy who's got this pad, and he's always got beautiful raver chicks over there giving him massages and stuff. So we go over there and we're on the waterbed getting these massages there from all these beautiful raver girls. And didn't you accidentally leave the phone turned on?
I pocket dialed, I think. I don't know what happened, but fucking...
Mate, amateur. I'm disappointed.
She had that phone turned on the whole time.
Oh, she heard everything.
She made someone get in a car and said, "Take me fucking over there."
Right, so she can hear you go, "Oh, baby, that's good."
Yeah. And
right.
she comes storming in.
I'm gonna fuck
fucking kill him otherwise.
We've got these two fucking naked bitches on us, not doing anything.
Just two naked women
we weren't
on the
up
bed.
We were just getting a nice massage, and she didn't see the funny side of it. Smacked them and fucking just launched into fucking me. Fucking, I'm not talking about a little. No, like you expect the guy. He said, like, I mean, the most I'd do is either push her or give her a fucking slap. That's only because she's either fucking stabbed me or she's fucking hit me with a phone. Or she's tried to fucking do me in. I got fucking scars all over my fucking head where she's come at me with fucking broomsticks, pool cues, fucking everything.
Right.
She was like, she had the same temperament as me.
And that was the nature of the relationship.
Yes. That was the nature of the relationship. It was a very disturbing relationship.
Can I just say, I feel sorry for the naked girls because they
you should have saw their faces.
They done absolutely nothing wrong.
Saw their faces.
Too.
She went after them. The whole house got run out.
I'm talking dragged by the head and just poor little pretty faces got smashed.
Poor girls.
I think I locked myself in a bathroom or something.
All they were doing was
I was listening to it from the safety of a bathroom.
This might be one of my favourite
podcasts. He didn't even stay and help me, you know what I mean?
He was gone.
He was gone.
He's a runner. You can run this guy.
He's quick. Give him that, yeah.
I didn't know what was going on till I fucking got to the left.
We were all relaxed, aren't we, on the knee and everything?
It was nice up to then.
That comes as a shock. So if you're quite high and then you see her steaming over, you
get the massage.
I wonder what she's doing there. I'm like, oh, hang on, what's going on here? I know what's coming.
What are you doing? Yeah.
and you'd spiked Rigetti, hadn't you, as well?
Yeah, I had.
What did you do to him?
Well, he kept on saying he could take as many pills and he could take all these E's, but he said never give me LSD because once I'm on LSD I'm a very dangerous man. So I put fucking 5 LSD in his fucking drink, see how dangerous he was. He was like a little fucking girl.
He was wriggling around on the floor, laughing at the butterflies, wasn't he?
Which is quite pleasant, really.
and the caterpillars. Look at the caterpillars.
Right, so this is, from what I remember, because we're going mad here.
Yeah.
You're on the come up now. Still, you're here. You're his main. You're the Luca Brazzi. You're the heavy. Wild Woman's turned up.
Yeah.
How is that all working out generally? Aside from the fact that she's beating fuck out of everyone.
So I established them in Tempe now, and Wild Woman is like becoming a dealer. So
was she good at that? Like, cause
she was good at it. Yes.
I left her for the titty girl dancer. I fucking left her while she was there. The fighting was too much, but it wasn't healthy.
And the titty girl was titties.
Yeah.
So she became one of your dealers.
Yeah. So 1 minute Wild Woman's doing good, the next minute they're having a fight, and he's moved out, and.
I'd have her back though if anyone tried to rob her, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
totally. To do with her.
Totally. Now,
so she becomes one of your main guys or girls.
Yeah, things are quite volatile with the two of them. But then Wild Man is walking down the street one day, and he said something to Wild Woman, and a policeman overheard it and didn't like it, and asked Wild Man to show him his ID. And Wild Man had a fake ID in the name of Candy Huff. And he just pulled it out and showed the policeman this ID that said Candy Huff on it.
Well, actually, that's true, but it wasn't actually a fake.
The details you would
it wasn't actually a fake ID. What had happened was we'd been to the driving place and actually went and got the IDs.
So it's real looking.
So no, it's a real ID.
Yeah.
But what had happened is the actual driving people where you get it from had actually fucked up. The woman behind me was called Candy Huff. Right. So I don't know how, but they've got my name, they've got my face, but with her name, and with her ID, it'll be fucking her face with my fucking name.
Right.
It was an actual real ID.
But that was the end of his second stay.
That was the end of his second stay because the police arrested me for having a false ID. And
because you don't look like Candy Huff.
No.
Now he's in deportation prison for a year.
What was that like?
It was alright actually. The food was a lot better. It was like I got in the kitchen there straight away. Because you're not really a prisoner in deportation.
No.
You're not classed as a prisoner.
It's diplomatic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like, I mean, you get 3 courses. They've got a soda machine. It's like, you couldn't make hoocher out though.
And obviously, no one there is really a criminal in the sense of a criminal.
No.
So you would have been the baddest motherfucker there by a country mile, were you?
The biggest. You know, Mexicans. Only little fucking things like this.
Right.
But I mean, you met some though because they had like they'd have the Mexicans, and then they'd have the chinos, which is like the Chinese. And then basically when they met, I don't know what it was with them, they'd just go fucking local with one another, they'd fight. But
whose side were you on?
me, I think I was on either side. They didn't bother me.
Right.
They didn't like. I just did my own thing in there, really. Right. I went in the kitchen and started cooking, started preparing meals. When I ever get incarcerated, most of the things I'll end up going in the kitchen because I know for a fact that I can make my own food and it's going to be better than what they make.
Yeah.
And it's like you get paid for it. And plus I can get me yeast, I can get me stuff for me other things I want to do for the night time, make hooch.
There is a side thing, people have asked us to ask you about prison cooking. Yeah. Why?
It's got some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just, I mean, if you taste prison food, you'd start making your own food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
My dad used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
My dad was he went to cook in prison straight off.
Straight off, because you know you're getting your own food. You're making, you're getting fresh eggs. You're getting your fresh food and hot. Because when you're making it for the other prisoners, I mean, half the time if you're making it for the chomos, you spit in it, and God knows what goes on in it. But when you're making your own food, it goes in a tray, and it's just sat there fucking ages. You know what I mean? You might get it lukewarm, but it's not the same. When you actually work in the kitchen, you get your own. And you have benefits of working in the kitchen. Like when we're working in Newcastle, every day you get like a stotty, you get like a fucking big fucking barm like that, and you can put your own filling on it. So it's like, get in the kitchen.
And you knew that, so you sort of got straight in the kitchen?
Yeah.
So after you got deported, did you ever go back to that, or was this when things started getting really extreme for you?
Now things are getting more extreme, because while he's in deportation, prison, Skinner now sees he's out the picture
and he's got nothing to worry about
and starts to plot against me again. Not only that, launches a firebomb attack with some gangsters on Wild Woman's pad.
Fucking hell. So how did you hear about that?
Yeah, I was fuming. Even though I wasn't with her, I was still fuming, like, you know what I mean?
It's obviously a dig at you, it's nothing.
Yeah. It was a dig at me and him.
Yeah.
Because he went to live in Tucson, and like at the time he was Shaun's best e-seller, and then fucking Wild One started selling and ended up doing good and fucking making money for fucking self and making money for Shaun, and like fucking everything went fucking well. And he's like a jealous kid, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we made a bomb, put it through the window, firebomb.
Yeah. Did you survive that?
Yeah, it just missed her. Almost caught her on fire. It caught some of the place on fire. And but what he did was, he then had some guys show up and offer to take her to safety.
Wow.
So technically, yeah, right.
Problem, reaction, solution.
In the words of David Icke.
Yes.
So he was really thinking ahead. That was actually quite a smart move from him.
He organised it. He was very smart of him. Yeah.
But you can't get one over on Wild Woman like that.
So should she know what the fuck was up? Did she?
Oh, right away. She was like, "Fuck you guys! I don't know you guys. You could be taking me out to the desert. I ain't going nowhere with you guys."
She was born and bred in a pub in Garston, so she was like proper,
Savvy.
Yeah.
Streetwise, yeah.
Yeah, very, very.
So she didn't go.
But what's your reaction when this happens? Because you're the head of the fucking whole operation.
I don't know what's gone down properly. All I know is that she's been firebombed. I go down there because like I've got this close-knit network of people, and I just start like calling people in and interviewing people and asking them, what do you think's happened here? What's gone down? What have you heard? And then I found out slowly but surely, the word started coming up that it was Skinner. And one of my strip dancer friends, he'd been at her house before he'd done this, and he'd mentioned some stuff to her about firebombs and stuff. And
at that time, he should have gone to the desert, in all fairness. But I was in immigration. There's fuck all I could have done. He deserves it, doesn't he? You know what I mean? Firebomb a woman's like, yeah. You know.
But you didn't have any other heavies at that. You must have had other people.
Yeah. I had G-Dog. I think G-Dog was in and out of prison. But I had bouncers, but then Skinner turned one of my bouncers called Vince. I had Vince in Wild Woman's flat.
Fucking bouncers
with a shotgun. Anyone who came over to Wild Woman's flat got greeted by Vince with the shotgun. to make sure that she didn't get robbed or anything like that again. But Skinner poisoned Vince.
Right.
So my wife and Vince went to Germany, and they were going to pick up some pills in Holland, and they got high. They had in the hotel and they slept together.
Right.
And Vince was so high, he told my wife all of the stuff that Skinner was plotting, and they wanted to enlist her against me.
Right.
Yeah, now she came back and she just told me absolutely everything.
As in, she slept with him.
Your ex-wife's going to love that, by the way. You put that on podcast.
So at this
you
point,
got banged.
Are you thrilled that you know?
No.
What did you do about him? Because really, once people do stuff like that, you can't ever trust them again, really, can they?
Yeah, he was out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm paying a lawyer to expedite Wildman's release because things are getting too heavy against me now, with Sammy the Bull and all that stuff.
As in, you need him back with you.
Yeah.
I'm having a rest with the Mexicans, cooking and immigration. So everything's good.
Did that work then?
Yeah, he came back, but things just went mental because now he's at war with Skinner. Skinner's smoking crack, sherm sticks, embalming fluid, crystal meth.
What does embalming fluid do to you?
Sherm. It's like basically what
it's almost like PCP, I think.
It's when you died, you put it in your body.
I mean, what does it do to you? Though I know what embalming fluid is, but I mean, what does it actually do to your body? Do you know what I mean?
I never did it.
I never did sherm either. No.
Yeah.
I never did sherm or never did heroin. Never did needles.
So Skinner's told Marie, his wife, that we're all gonna fall down. He's done something against us, and she gives me a heads up. And Skinner leaves town. And we don't know he's left town, so Wildman's at Skinner's place waiting for him to come back to his place, and my mate Joey Crack shows up. Wildman almost... He had so many weapons there, I can't remember which one it was you pulled on Joey Crack. How many weapons did you have in that place ready for Skinner?
Well, I had a few in different places, in cupboards and all that. I never really liked guns, and ever since seen that guy being killing himself, suicide, I never really dealt with guns. Rather have a deal with my fists, or there's a few of them. Obviously, if they've got a gun, I'll put a fucking bat over the head or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, generally, even to this day, there's fucking... I sleep with... I have like a weight fucking bar under my fucking bed. I have a baseball bat in my bedroom. You do that, don't you, in case of fucking anything happens?
In case anyone's thinking about trying.
Yeah.
That's what everyone does, though.
So, you get out, and you're straight back into the scene... And
well, I can't concentrate right now.
He's on meth every day.
I'm on meth every day,
and the red dots are kicking in.
My goal is just
the red dots are coming,
kill Schooley. That's
things.
what I want to do. I want to hunt him down, take him to the desert, and do him in.
So Skinner is going to end up in the desert, is he?
Skinner, Schooley.
And I'm trying to restrain him, trying to keep Skinner calm. Skinner's doing as many drugs as him, and it's going to explode at some point.
Is Skinner still dealing at this point for
No.
you? Right.
No.
So he's basically
he's
useless
ripping people off, using my name now and ripping people off.
So he's useless to you at this point?
Yes.
Right.
But he's a credible threat in that he could turn us in, and that's what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is how the big police fucking...
He gave the biggest insight into the organisation possible. There were 10 witness statements. None of the others were insiders. He was the insider.
Right.
If you'd had him killed, you probably would have done yourself a fucking favour in many ways.
Not necessarily, because we could be on death row.
Yeah. So you've really got to weigh that up.
But he was the biggest witness.
My ex is another one that talked as well.
Did she? Wild woman?
Yeah.
Did she shop you?
4 people agreed to cooperate with the police out of the over 100 co-defendants in my case, and I signed a plea bargain, so no one ever had to testify me in court, and I forgive all those people. I've never held that against any of them, but I chose those people to work with me, so I got to take responsibility for
I respect
justice
that,
in a sense.
but out of interest, Vince was one of them.
Vince didn't agree to cooperate with the police. No.
Sorry, what?
Okay.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
We'll pause it there. I'm going to have a quick question.
I do want to pause.
Yeah.
The people who you think shopped you from, it was one of them was Vince.
So Vince didn't shop me to the police,
but he was willing to testify.
No, he refused.
Really?
Yeah.
Even after all the shit you've had between yourselves.
Yeah, he refused. He wouldn't be a snitch.
I do think Vince had fucked him over enough at this point.
Yeah, but at that point,
you know what? I'll shag your wife and I'll put you into the police.
But that's against his sort of pattern of behaviour, though, isn't it? Because he clearly seems like a type of bloke who does whatever is going to benefit him.
I think he did after he was dealt with. I think he did have a change of heart about things, and he was a bit scared. And also, like, he knows I'm connected with the New Mexican Mafia, and these guys are like doing serious things to people.
Was that something that you also knew in the back of your mind at that time? Were you sort of like, I've kind of got mafia protection at this point?
At the point where Vince got straightened out, G-Dog was one of the guys who assisted in talking to him.
Right.
And
assisted in talking to him. Yeah.
I love the idea that he would be dressed like a secretary.
So Vince
personal assistant.
Yeah.
Vince had seen the headlines about G-Dog's brothers being these leaders of the New Mexican Mafia, doing murder for hire and being the most powerful, dangerous mafia in Arizona at that time.
Just to be clear, New Mexico and Mexico are two different things.
No, not New Mexico Mafia.
Right.
The New Mexico Mafia.
Right.
New Mexican Mafia.
Right.
Versus the old Mexican Mafia.
Right. So what's the difference between the new and old? Like, what were the New Mexico Mafia
The New Mexican
famous
Mafia are...
Nueva M.
Okay, in the prison, there's the Paisas, the Mexican nationals, and the Chicanos, who are Mexican Americans, and they're actually at war.
Yeah,
they're at war.
Right.
So the New Mexican Mafia, they're descended from Mexico, but
they're in
Mexican
LA,
American, born in America.
Yeah. Basically, you've got your old school, and then you've got your youngsters coming up, and they're going to want to take over, you know what I mean?
Just out of interest, like, obviously they never did this and you were never connected with that, but like, what kind of things would these people do?
The New Mexican Mafia?
Yeah.
Well, I was like, okay, so
just it's starting to sound like a mixtape now.
The night I found out who they were, G-Dog's we've clicked up with G-Dog for years now. He's our buddy and bodyguard and stuff. And I took G-Dog back home to his brother's house one night, and the whole neighborhood was blacked out. And the police are out on the streets, they're guiding the traffic with light ones. And we pull up to G-Dog's brother's house, and they're all coming out in cuffs, and US federal SWAT team are bringing them out. If we'd have got there a little bit early, we would have been in the SWAT team raid. So that night, it was New Mexican Mafia, heads of them, rounded up, pictures of all the guys whose house we'd been going in. And it said they're the most powerful, dangerous criminal organisation in Arizona at this time. Assassinating witnesses, tried to assassinate the head of the prison system, going after judges, police.
Was the prison system privatised at that time, or was it?
Yeah. Right. Some are private, some are state at that time. Yeah.
Right.
So these guys were absolutely deadly. So
what kind of stuff are they doing to people? Because in Mexico, you hear of terrible things happening in Mexico. Was it similar to that, where they'd just be taking people out of their cars, shooting them, or torturing them?
Well, they've got their own hitmen, haven't they? There was one of the hitmen, when I first got introduced to them, I didn't know this guy was a hitman, shoved this coke in my face. He's like, take this coke, to show that I wasn't a cop or anything. Do you remember Porky?
Yeah.
And you ended up seeing him in the jail later on.
I did favours for him and Lewis in jail.
So, these guys were really, really hardcore, yeah. You couldn't mess. I mean, I was terrified every time I went into that place. They looked at me like they wanted to eat me.
But they loved you?
No, not necessarily. Right. The only time they loved me was one night. They said, we're having a party, we're bringing our women over, we're going to get high on your E. And I took them to E. I got a call in the middle of the night saying they'd run out of E. Could I bring some more E over? And I arrived, they were all smiling, sweating, picking me up. England, man, we love your ecstasy. And that was the only time they ever smiled.
That must have felt quite good and scary at exactly the same time.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Because you never know, someone might. Right.
But I never ever saw them again like that again after that, yeah.
So back to your list.
Yeah, so Wild Woman was willing to testify against you.
This is later after we all get arrested. Yeah.
You mentioned that earlier, and I'm just thinking, like, because she was one of your people, and then all of a sudden she was willing to turn on you.
Yeah.
As much as you were in the business of looking after number one, you begin to trust people. Yeah. What does it feel like when you know someone's willing to fuck you that badly?
In the beginning, you have an emotional reaction, but then over time,
what is that emotional reaction?
Well, you just think, this person is wants to send me up the river for the rest of my life, basically, because I wasn't ever going to get out of prison. I was facing the maximum 200-year sentence. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm fucked. These people know everything about me, And the prosecutors, they play mind games.
I forgive her.
They like used car salespeople.
Only because It's the fact that
she used to stab you, mate. You course you.
Yeah, I know.
You're a very forgiving person by the sounds of it.
No, but it's the fact that it's the way the prosecutions
they played mind games.
Men can take things a lot more than women, and as soon as they start bringing about that you'll never see your kids again,
never see your mum. My mum was dying. They said you'd never see your mum.
They play emotional games.
Yeah,
and you kind of, I mean, if you're going to bring a female into your organisation, and shit hits the fan, and they've got kids. 99% of them are going to talk if the pressure points. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It's a miracle you're fucking walking the streets, like, isn't it? When you think about it logically.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how the fuck you're out.
Yeah.
Well, the prosecutors play these mind games because they're like used car salespeople. At the end of the day, the justice system is a business model. They want you to sign a plea bargain. 98% of the cases in Arizona go to plea bargains. So they put this pressure on me, put this pressure on her, and in the end, we cow down and we signed these plea bargains.
Which look like what? What is that basically?
I got mine down to 9.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
because I had a private lawyer.
So let's sort of rewind a little bit. On the build up to the eventual day where they kick your fucking doors in and they come and get you.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Well, you've not even had him come back yet for the third time.
So let's go back to the return of the return of Wild Man.
This is like his final grand finale.
All right, let's get to that then. So where are you? How's life going for Shaun right now?
Let's talk a bit more about Shaun instead of me. I always come out looking like the cunt.
Did you? Because Shaun is making so much money right now.
Yeah.
Shaun, by the looks of it, Shaun never changed.
No.
So you two are still the same friends in the core of it that you always were.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So where were you?
He's sobered up now, but he's ready for his next fresh round.
Yeah.
So you weren't back to England, yeah?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm thinking that at this point, should I really go back?
Is Wild Woman still in the US?
Yeah.
So are you on your own in England? Why are you laughing? What?
It's just quite ridiculous in general, isn't it?
Should I really go back?
Yeah.
So what's happening with where's your life when he's back in England? Tell us what happens.
I'm dealing with the problems of things going wrong in my organisation.
Mutiny.
I'm also doing way more drugs than I've ever done in my life, so my decision-making processes aren't the best. I'm paying private lawyer now to try and get him out, to get him deported. And my thing is, the lawyer's like, yeah, I'm gonna expedite this. He's gonna get deported any day. And as soon as he does, now I'm putting all my money into teams of people now to get him back, to come right back to America.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of want to stay back in Widnes for a while, to be fair.
Just
get away from the madness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How did it feel to be away from all that? Because that must have been incredibly intense.
It felt very nice.
Yeah. I know you're joking about that, but yeah.
No, you must have went from an insane lifestyle to little old Widnes.
Yeah.
That must have been such a contrast. What was it like?
Perfect.
What's the flight back like from America? Like, are you... Because I've heard of other people being deported.
It's uncomfortable because you've chained up.
Right.
I had guards with me when they flew me back, so you're actually... I mean, when the lady comes and asks you for a drink, you can't have one.
Right.
Because you've got, you actually just cuffed up. And then what happens is when you finally get to Heathrow, they guide you off the plane, uncuff you, and then they give you to the officers.
Then what do they do?
Well, they're supposed to guide you out or arrest you if you've got any previous or whatever. But I basically just got through on this one. I had no previous. What had happened was the guy that had the Section 18, he'd ended up fucking up himself and being a burglar, and nothing really happened, and it was it's like a 7 year. It was a 7 year thing anyway, where they couldn't actually bring any charges back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm back. I'm actually in England now, and no, I'm not with Wild Woman. No, but I'm back in fucking England, and I'm back at my dad's, and I'm thinking, that was a mad ride, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But then, itchy feet, he calls me back, and I'm thinking, oh fucking hell, man!
You must have missed him. You must have missed the lifestyle, all of that.
I've missed him like a ball in the arse.
Right. But you weren't at all, because it would strike me that if for whatever
I
reason.
did miss him, yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew it was trouble, so I knew it was too much to ask.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that if he's making me over, there's got to be hassle. Because why else was he going to have me fucking...
Is this our wrestler?
You're evil.
Itchy feet.
Itchy feet, yeah.
And then suddenly there's a plane ticket that arrives.
Yeah. To Mexico.
And teams of people.
Yeah.
Through Canada and Mexico and all kinds of shit.
So how then do you realise you're going to get back into the country? Because the first time it was a Greyhound. Were you just in the storage of a Greyhound or what?
No.
He's just receiving orders
Canada. I flew from Canada. I flew to Toronto, Canada.
Right.
And I went over the border from Canada to Buffalo, New York. And then from New York, I got the Greyhound. It took 3.5 days.
Shit.
From Greyhound. I would have said that too. Because when the guy who picked me up said, "Do you want to get the plane?" I thought, well, fuck that. I just like fucking being all around the world to get back in the country. I don't want to get... The last thing I want to do is get on a plane, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like fucking he let me on I said, no, I'll get the Greyhound, I'll get the coach.
You must have seen a lot of America in that time.
Well, I did. I didn't realise how big it fucking was.
Yeah.
Didn't know I was going to be 3.5 days on a fucking coach.
It's funny because when English people go to America, I don't think they realise how big it is. I remember when I drove in America and I was like, that... Because in England, when you do that with your fingers, you're like, it's 3 hours, maybe 2 hours. In America, when you do that on the map, that's like, that's a day. Do you know what I mean?
You can literally go from Johnny Gross to Land's End in a day in England, can't you? But you can't in America. You can't fucking...
That drive must have been amazing from Buffalo down to...
It was nice, but the only bad thing about it, I don't know if you know
he
about...
He loves travelling. You'll have to get used to that.
I'm just saying, like...
No, but I don't know if you know about Greyhounds or not, but they always seem to have the station, and it's about a mile away from any Circle K or a mile away from anywhere you can go and get fucking beer.
Right.
So all you can actually get is like a tamale or fucking whatever fast food they got there. You haven't even got time to go and get yourself some beers to have on the coach on the next journey. So you literally, 3.5 days, you're going. And I think I missed one of them when I had to pay extra because I thought, well, I'm not doing this. I'm not getting on the coach. I got a 12-pack. I thought, I'm late. Fuck it, you know what can you do?
Yeah. So you then make your way across the country.
But yeah, you do see lots of things.
Yeah.
You see the American Eagles and you see beautiful things, you know what I mean? You do see nice things.
This is all a movie montage, isn't it? Like
amazing. A
man on a coat. Are you not wowed by that? Because I kind of...
No, I genuinely, this whole fucking thing, like this whole thing's amazed me.
You just look a little bit numb right now. Do you know? You're just sitting there going, just...
The thing is, when you guys talk, I always sort of picture everything in my head.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I can't help it.
Oh.
So you then arrive in Arizona, you're back in the heat, the baking heat of the desert. Does he greet you?
We always have a bear hug.
Yeah, on the third time, yeah.
But you're not there when he gets off the coach. I mean, you will be in the movie.
Once he gets to the...
This will have to be a 3.5
Yeah.
hour movie at least.
We've got people bringing him and coordinating him, and he gets there, and I update him on what's going on. And things got a bit hot for the Wild Ones then in Tempe. Wild Woman's place got raided. Now, I'd rented her a place, and I also rented her a place next to the place just to store her drugs in case she got raided. But she got raided, and the drugs...
Oh, we'd actually got back, by the way, by then as well.
Oh, you got back together?
Yeah, we got back together.
Right, was it still as volatile?
We were in Mexico together, didn't we?
So what happens is things get so hot now. Wild Man's going berserk, wants to take Skin out to the desert. Wild Woman's got raided.
She's scared, so I go and move in with her to make sure she's alright.
They found
before you know it, and boning her again and things like that, so I'm back with her.
Are you still fighting at that point? Or is
it was much more mellow. I was just concentrated on fucking getting high and wanting to kill Scully. That was my thing I wanted to do. It's the only thing I wanted to do.
Kill Skinner?
Yeah, come back to the only thing I come back to the country for us to do, man.
So she's been raided with thousands of hits of ecstasy, acid, meth, ketamine, Xanax, assorted Mexican pills, and they just let her go.
Weird.
Yeah. They said to her, she said she was just in that place.
I'd have seen that sus myself. I'd have been a bit suspicious about that.
So they were trying to use her to find us.
Is this part of? All right.
She hadn't cooperated. It would have been in the paperwork. She hadn't cooperated.
So
she told them
they let her go as a lead, basically.
Yeah. She told them. She's dating some English guy or something or other, and he's put her in this apartment, but she just wants to go home, blah blah blah. And they said, well, if you find out anything about him, if you want to tell us anything else, here's our number, blah blah blah.
They must have been a little bit onto it.
Well, the detective who fucking...
He was, we had a nemesis.
He was the one of them who was arrested,
Yeah. Detective Reed, we'll call him.
Detective Reed.
He was totally onto us.
So it's easier for him, really, to release her, not charge her.
He's
and
just
then
waiting where she goes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Taylor for ages. Right.
And if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have come back all the way from fucking Widnes back here, because I knew it would have been fucking trouble back to America, because I knew it would have been trouble.
Yeah.
I knew for the fact that all they're doing is watching where she goes, who she's mixing with, what's going on, and tailing her.
So are you still having the big parties at this point? Are you two still going out and,
It's like
he's paranoid.
Yeah, everyone's getting a bit paranoid at this point. Now, my idea
this
now...
is towards the end now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does it feel that way when you're in it?
No, because your brain's like all messed up and you're just thinking, I'm going to sustain this somehow. So I say now, my next grand scheme is, because I've got operations in Mexico, it's got so big now, my pills have got to get smuggled in through Mexico. My thing now is to move the wild ones to Mexico. And all my mates say, the way they behave, if Wild Man acts up in Mexico, the Mexicans will kill him.
Right.
Send them down there. I had this guy who was a military sniper, spoke Mexican, Frankie Flowers. Send you down there with Frankie Flowers. And
that was his real name. Yeah.
And
these fucking names getting me. I'm thinking, no, that wasn't his name, but you can't say his bastard name. You know what I mean?
Joey Spaghetti.
They ran him and my right hand man, Cody, who's also dead. We can say his real name.
Yeah.
They rent him this nice house in Rocky Point. So there's telecommunications are quite problematic. So I'm not in contact with the wild ones, but I'm sending people down there with supplies. Now, my guys go down there with supplies. Cody went down there with supplies, and he arrives, and the house looks like it's been bombed. The windows are blown out. It's been on fire. And he comes back and he says, the Mexicans have killed the wild ones. It's done. It's over. So I've got to send Frankie Flowers back down on a research trip. My other mate's scared to go back down. He thought he was going to get killed to get to the bottom of things.
Where were you?
What happened is the people who took me and Wild Woman down with Tukeen, we went out for a meal, and Attie'd give him the money to go and find us a place. Wouldn't give me the money to go and find my own fucking place. Give him the fucking money to find me a place.
Would you give him the money?
If I'm honest.
So in the end, after looking around all day, in the end, they get a grip of this fucking guy and say, look, I'll give you the money, I'm going to smash you fucking in. It's my fucking money, I'm not a kid, you're not minding it. So I grabbed a few grand off him and we found the fucking place. So me and Wiles, where we were fucking at Rocky Point, it was just like, at the time they were building it up. It's called Sonora, Rancho Marietta. But anyway, not Rancho Marietta, Sonora. So where we're at, we're driving this dirt fucking road up there, and they've got like little houses here and there, little shacks here and there, and there's a bar. So what's that bar called up there?
The Rodeo.
Yeah. So we ended up going in the bar, me and Wild Woman. We've just got this little place, does us, got a couple of grand in the pocket, fine, you know what I mean? Might have some ease in the bag, whatever. Don't bother unpacking, just throw the bags in, and there's a bar about 100 yards. And it's the only bar around there, you know what I mean? It's like sand dunes and all that, it's called Rocky Point. So I go there and I'm seeing these big huge fucking birds. I said, what the fucking hell are them? So I'm having these fish tacos, and these like big fucking pelican thing comes and fucking tries to take it from your hand. No, you go Blackpool and you get the big birds. These are like fucking... These are on steroids, these fuckers. You know what I mean? I want to punch one of the cunts, man. I'm like, come here. I'm trying to get one so I can fuck a bit closer and dig it. But anyway, she's like, don't be cruel. I want this pelican. I do, because he's trying to eat me food.
Is it just the two of you at this point? Or is
Yeah.
Where are the kids?
Yeah, kids are with the dad. Not with the dad, with the husband, ex-husband.
Right.
He fought for custody or something and realised that he didn't want him over there, which I totally understand.
Fair enough.
It is fair enough, to be fair. He should have done it earlier. But anyway, so we sat there and we have a few beers and everything's chilled, you know what I mean? We're in Mexico, we're in a different place, no one fucking knows us. A few grand in the pocket, goes a long way in Mexico. So I'm thinking, alright, yeah, finally now we can have a bit of our time. Go back to the place, I had a few beers. I don't know what kicked it off. Oh, I bought a bottle of tequila and started on the tequila, and having a fag and that, just normal cigarette, no joint. And she says, don't smoke in the house. I said, fuck off, don't smoke in the fucking house. Why should you stand outside and have a fag? Well, you don't know if it's non-smoking or not. We don't want to offend them. We've only just got here. I said, well, they won't mind if we're having a fucking fag. We just paid her a month up fucking front, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Cut a long story short, she starts fucking arguing. So I fucking end up flicking the fuck. And she throws a chair at me. That's it. She throws a chair at me.
It's a reasonable debate.
So I'm thinking, God, there we go again. Where the fuck did I even leave my dad's house? You know what I mean? What the fucking hell did I come back here for? So I'm just fuming. I'm just swinging on this fucking tequila thinking, you're a knob, you fucking just lucky for fucking trouble. And then she's like, nagging. I think, Lord, just fuck off. Just go back to the bar, do whatever the fuck hell you want, go. So she carries on. And I end up flicking the fag at her. So yeah, I picked that up, bitch. Just being an ass. And fucking, as that happened, the whole fucking floor sort of went blue. And then before it going blue, like seconds after it went blue, the wind just went, the windows all popped. What actually happened is she threw the chair, it hit the fireplace, right? And now in Mexico, over here we have like copper pipes for gas. Over there it's plastic.
Right.
So it's cracked the fucking pipe.
Gas coming out. Gas is heavy. Yeah.
So the whole place is on fire. The windows have just popped out. The whole place is on fire. Fuck, here we go again. So she's running around with the frying pan, trying to get water, trying to put it out.
Get the frying pan.
I see it's a moot point at this time, you know what I mean? It's going up. So I just drag her, say, come here yourself, cow, get out. So I drag her, I said, go and find the neighbour or something. So she, really broad scouse, knocking on Mexican people's doors, trying to shout at them and tell them that fire. And like, they're just fucking like,
what?
No comprende, you know what I mean? And then in the end she's pointing, and you see flames coming out the fucking door. So they call the fire brigade. So
I'd love to see the Mexican fire brigade, by the way. I
don't
know what that looks like.
Oh my God, it's like some old Bill and Ben.
Right.
Fucking hell. This thing waited 20 minutes, by the way, and the guy
you're
next,
paying your fucking taxes, so why you fuck?
And the guy next door is panicking because he's got a really nice speedboat in the fucking drive, right next to this fucking like little condo. You know what I mean? It is a nice place. Excuse me. So I look and thought, this is a fucking joke, this. And I see this thing coming up, and it's like a little old fucking truck. And I swear to God, there's 3 people on it. And there's no joke, this. God's honest truth. God strike me dead now. There's 2 guys on the back. One's pumping one way, one's pumping the other way, and one's holding the hose, and it's coming out in spurts. I think, is this real? Is this fucking real?
So the first day you're there, you
burn
manage
the house
to
down.
set the house on fire.
Yeah.
And you're standing outside in Mexico.
So it wasn't really that they're being bombed, obviously,
No.
then.
This is just the first house. This is the first house to go like that.
Right. So you're watching this.
You carry on. I'm going for a quick piss.
All I'm thinking is there is something incredibly exciting about all this, but it must have felt so exhausting at that time.
It was just just mundane. It was just the point that it's like it got to the point of being normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's just bizarre shit's gonna happen to me no matter what.
Yeah.
And that must feel almost like a curse in a way.
It
a little
was,
bit like,
it was.
fuck, why did I come back here? You could have been a witness.
Yeah, having a normal life.
No disrespect to witness, but relatively unexciting to what's going on
Exactly,
here.
yeah.
You could have been drinking.
But so much fucking less stressful.
Just chilled.
Yeah.
To you, witness is like a fucking holiday right now, whereas originally it was supposed to be the other way around. And that is pretty much testament to how mental your life was.
But he was having problems because his bird got fucked, so fucking he calls me back.
Right. But that, like I say, that's testament to
I don't mean that bad, lad.
No.
That was one of the many problems.
Yes.
Well, there was several problems.
But it is testament to the fact that your life was so intense and crazy at that time.
Yeah.
And you're sucking other people into that lifestyle who don't really want to be there. But it's you think you're doing them a favour by taking them there.
Yeah.
And that's your crazy mentality at that time.
Exactly.
Is that you want them there because you care about them.
Yeah.
But fuck it, like you're ruining their lives while you're doing it, and along with your own.
Thank you very much.
It's all his fault.
It's all his fault.
I don't say that.
That's the way the judge looked.
Right, yeah. I don't say that in a mean way. There's something quite poetic about the two of you, and then you stuck out in the middle of nowhere and there's water pumping. So what do you do?
Well, that's not what I could do. What I forgot to do was go in there and get the clothes.
Right.
So it's like, we're sat on the wall. And
Fortunately, I had an investment in a rave clothing store.
Perfect, yeah.
The
a
landlord,
normal dress.
Yeah, the landlord, actually, of the place, come down. And we didn't say about we'd had a fight or anything, you know what I mean? We just said, he hadn't rented it out for 8 months. So we said, we walked in, lit a cigarette, and must have dropped in, it's gone up. And he's like, I don't know what he was saying, because he was speaking Spanish. And I know Paquito now, but I didn't know anything at the time. So it was like, basically, he rehoused us about 100 yards down the road. But got no clothes. Got fuck all until we were waiting for fucking shipment.
Supplies.
So how long was this between the end?
Well, there's still quite a few little things before the very end.
Right.
This is just the first house he destroys.
Fuck me.
In Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah, it was the first one.
And do the people like you?
In Mexico,
In the beginning, he was running the place.
Right.
They said they would kill him. He clicked up these Mexican mafia dudes who clicked up with the police. They had me running around in jeeps and stuff, taking me places, wanting to get a business relationship going.
Well, they weren't actually Mexican mafia, they were paisans. They were like real Mexicans. Chicanos are American Mexican. The paisans are Mexican.
Right.
So they have their own like, like the New Mexican mafia. They have their clique. This is like
These like
real,
the
old school mafia
out in
like,
Mexico.
So a bit more like the kind of
linked into the cartel.
Tradition.
Yeah.
traditional.
Right,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
a bit more like the kind of obviously not Italian mafia, but that that
Like
ilk
more of a, they had more of a Omata about them.
This Mexico
Exactly,
Arizona
moral code,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
The Mexico Arizona border is a major hub for the cartels to get their drugs in.
Right.
So all these guys
Still a big
are
war.
allied with a certain cartel. Sinaloa cartel, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he brings me over with all good intentions and he just puts me here. And then he tells me, oh, we've decided to change route now, lad. The pills are coming to Mexico. I thought, that's why I'm fucking here. You know what I mean? It's
So
all
you
goodness
were there
of
to
his
see that sort
fucking
of through
heart.
then?
Yeah. It's all for the goodness of his heart.
Is that not the worst place to be then, realistically, danger-wise?
In terms of anything can happen to you down there and no one will give a fuck, the police will do it for you. Yeah. But he got ripped off on a crack deal. So I've relocated him now into this beachfront condo. I'm renting it through this guy out in Mesa. Beautiful property, right there on the Sea of Cortez. He goes and buys some crack, gets back to the condo, looks at the crack rock, and he's not happy about this crack rock. What had happened there, lad?
Well, it was too small, I thought, for the fucking price I give him.
And wasn't it bunk as well or something?
Well, no, the crack rock was sound, but it was just like, fucking in Mexico, you'd expect a big fucking rock for $100, like.
So I've got a guy, let's get this in perspective. I've got a guy.
Well, you ripped me off, basically, so.
I've got a guy bringing.
Bartering with them.
I've got a guy bringing.
Half a denari.
I've got a guy bringing 40,000 hits of ecstasy right now in computer towers from Mexico City. He's already flew over from Europe to Rocky Point where we're housed. I want everything as calm as possible right now. No police attention.
He doesn't tell me this, though.
Oh,
Just
he
leaves
knew
me
this.
to my own devices.
He knew. And he's like, I'm going to go and fuck this crack dealer up because I've just been ripped off on my crack rock and I don't care if it's a fucking $1 or 1,000 or 100,000. Nobody fucking rips me off. My fucking red dots are fucking telling me to go and hurt this motherfucker. And I just can't calm him down. So I say, all right, I'll drive up there and drop you off. I'm coming right back. I ain't getting involved in the mix because we've got all these pills coming. So he goes, there's the dude. And he's talking to the police. The police were right next to him, like, fuck this off, lad, let's just go. And he's like, no, just pull up slowly and I'll get out. So I pulled up slowly. And he did this kind of timing violence strike as he's not quite out of the vehicle to this dude.
And then he fell out of the fucking car.
Clunks him.
Clunk him.
I don't know how he clunked him. He clunked him against a lamppost, so his head just went bink. He fell down unconscious. And the police, I take off. And now I'm saying to everybody in the apartment, he did this right in front of the police. Here you go, Cody. Here's some money. Bail him out of the police station. This, hopefully this won't attract too much attention. But he knew the police.
See, the thing is, over there, you get to fucking... They're like little... Apart from the Federellis, if your face is around there, they treat you as a fucking local.
Right.
So if you buy them some cervezas, some beers and all that, because they're on low money, you know what I mean? The local general police are on low money. They'll sit and have a fucking joint with you. And I got to... While I was there for a while, I got to know the local businessmen there who were hiring the quads and all that. And they were friends... Went to school with these police and all that. So I'm sat there fucking doing coke or fucking smoking joints, and these fucking policemen come in and they sit down and that's how I know him. And this fucking guy clonked. The policeman was fucking... I didn't know this at the time. The policeman was there. It was one of the guy I met from fucking Alex's place. So he didn't fucking say anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've pretty much bought yourself immunity there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ingratiate yourself into these communities.
Wherever
so well.
he goes, we took him to Hollywood Boulevard, one of those dodgy pink hotel rooms, and we all went to a rave. And when we came back, all the street people were knocking on the door every 5 or 10 minutes. Is Peter there? We've got some free drugs for him. They were giving him, the street people were giving him free drugs all night long, the whole time we were there. Some dude in a Viper car. With didn't he have a kilo of coke? He was trying to get Wellman to stay, leave us and just go off with him into the night.
I'm in a hotel room there with 30,000 fucking E's next door to me in the hotel room there. And in the fucking right next to it, Sunset Boulevard, it was Hollywood. This guy pulls up in a Viper in a suitcase. I get talking to him. I've got a few pills on me and a bit of glass. I didn't want to go to the rave, I didn't fancy it. I thought, you just put me in this hotel here. There's fucking hookers on the street, all looking fit. Fucking, I've got money in my fucking pocket, and fucking, I want to go and fucking party with the party people, you know what I mean? The night people. Got talking to him, opens his suitcase and pulls out these fucking rocks and pulls out that. So we end up fucking smoking crack and all that, and he tells me, here's the keys to the car, go down and get me such and such. So I go down to the Viper and I'm sat there and thinking, I can steal this, I can't even fucking drive. So I'm sat there and thinking, sat in the front of it and thinking, no, I can't steal it because I don't know how to use the fucking thing. You know what I mean? So I went back upstairs and gave him the fucking keys and the fucking whatever he wanted from the fucking car. I was thinking, I can steal this now, and then it's just, I had a realisation, I thought, I can't fucking drive. You can
put him anywhere in the world, and he'll all the local people of the night will start respecting him.
They'll gravitate towards
Yeah, they gravitate towards him. He starts running any area, he will start to run that area.
It's the accent.
But yeah, I don't bully or anything. It's just I get on with people. I'll have a laugh.
Strangely, you're a people person, aren't you?
Like, I am very much so. People, and I love dogs. I'd rather kill a person than a dog.
Yeah, and that thankfully, you've never
hopefully that choice will never come down. It's the bitch of the dog.
Yeah. It's the bitch of the bitch. So he's knocked that guy out. You don't have to pay any cops off at that point.
Yeah.
No.
The pills come, we get them back, and that was the last big smuggling mission that succeeded in the Attwood organisation. After then, it was downhill. Some of those pills got jacked, and we brought Wellman and some of my other guys back over the border to try and sort that situation out. And things just started to go downhill rapidly, didn't they?
Well, also the Mexican thing with the cops, they let things slide with me, but they did it up, didn't they, at one point?
Wellman, in the end, because I lost a smuggler. This guy out of Mexico, he got popped coming back in Mexico City with some ecstasy from Europe, and his mum was connected politically, wasn't she, in Rocky Point, and she saw to it then that people in power wouldn't let Wildman stay anywhere, and he ended up getting smuggled back over into Arizona.
So she chased you out of town, really?
Yeah, she chased me out of town, but not only that, the police kind of didn't away, because everything was all good for the little stupid things where I'd get drunk and fuck up, but he wouldn't do anything about. Which, by the way, if you go down there and you fuck up, always just have like $100 or $50 in your sock, no matter what it is. You can have a bag of coke or whatever, just give them that and they're not going to bother you. But what actually happened was, I'm sat in Victor's, the guy who rents the quads. The same police come in, we're talking. I had a laugh with him now. They basically say, we know what you're up to, we know what you're doing, and if you pay us a certain amount, we'll make sure that your shit, your shit gets from one place to another. So I'm thinking, it's fucking hell, it's extortion, isn't it, in a way? Because they know And if they fucking know they can either take it or...
You either pay up or you're fucked, really.
Exactly.
In Mexico, they have an area called the plaza, and whoever's in charge of that plaza, the police, whatever drug you're dealing through that plaza, you have to pay the police, and they'll arrest your competition and secure that area for you.
They're gangsters. They're just...
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally,
They're no different.
Yeah.
They're just the gang of...
Police are the biggest mafia.
That's often said, yeah. I've heard a lot of people say shit like that.
No, the Federale is completely different. They don't give no fucking
they're
shit.
deadly.
They'll just shoot you on sight.
They work for the cartels. They're like an army for the cartels.
Yeah.
So
Right.
They go down in mini tanks. They dress all in black and they go down in like the little mini fucking tanks, literally. The police are locals, hardly get paid. Sorry,
mate, it's fine.
The police are locals and they hardly get paid much fucking money.
Yeah.
So whatever fucking the odd 50 or 20 or whatever they charge you, the tourists what come in there. Because you've got spring breakers coming. Rocky Point is just, it's like from Monday to Thursday it's quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like one of them places where you see like fucking, you know, them dustweeds fucking
Tumbleweeds.
blowing through fucking hell.
Spring break and
But
everything.
come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people come down, it's just, and then you got spring break. You got your Arizona spring break, and then you got your LA spring break.
Do you remember Sally Wack nearly got arrested down there because she got a Dyke Triangle going on a procession? All the university students were down on spring break. This like truck or something comes through. We hear all this cheering.
Slaps her ass.
And Sally Wack's doing the Dyke Triangle on this truck. But then the cops started freaking out, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, if they ever make a movie out of your life, I want to play a wild man.
Yes!
I think I can do that.
I'll be honoured and I'd like you to.
I want to play wild man. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Make me debut. Lawrence can direct.
I'll happily direct. I was worried you were going to give me a shit role then.
Can I sit in the corner, smoke crack?
Absolutely. It would actually be hilarious if you just made like one of those, just a quick appearance in the movie as one of the crack people in the background or something like that. That'd be great.
So, when it did get tits up, we're sort of. I think we need another episode, to be honest. But when
we should do the prison one in the next episode. Just finishing this one's going to be almost 3 hours.
When it went tits up, what were you thinking? Because were you in Arizona when it went tits up?
Alright, he's got to be smuggled back now into Arizona.
Okay.
How
so now he's back. I've got teams of people again waiting, trying to get him across the border. Try Arizona, try California. He's not working. It's not working there.
Are these loyal people to you?
Yeah.
Do you know them?
They've been working for me for years.
Oh,
I'm paying them. Rigetti was one of them.
He gives them flats to live in.
I was renting like 20 different apartments for people.
He gives them money. He gives them fucking drugs.
Cars, apartments, everything.
So you give them a life, basically.
Yeah, give them a life.
How long did you get when it all went tits up? Out of interest.
Me, they actually. I ended up doing the most out of them all.
Fuck.
Because he'd been deported twice. Menace to society by the judge.
And they said I was a menace to society and I was a leading enforcer. I ended up getting 8 years, and I did actually 7.5 of them, day for day.
Right, okay.
And then I did like a year of a bit in immigration too.
Right.
But
How did that go down?
You haven't discussed the houses, the other houses that get destroyed yet.
Well, let's not make me look bad. Let's consult on you for a minute.
So House 1's been destroyed, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's done.
House 1's gone. Cigarettes, whatever. It's cigarettes and gas. It was his own fault.
Yeah, exactly.
So this guy owes me money, right? He's a DJ.
Yeah.
So basically, he can't repay. Wildman's moving in.
How much do they owe you? Sorry.
I think he only owed me about, 30, 40 grand, something like that. So Wildman's going to move in. And what happened, lad?
I love how that's a punishment.
Yeah. Well, basically,
it was the best punishment.
I love that idea.
I love he turns up with a suitcase.
In my mind, he doesn't have a suitcase. He has one of those big sticks with the sheet tied up at the back.
Like fucking Pinocchio.
Exactly, yeah.
So, let's get back, before we get on to that story, let's get back how I got back from Mexico.
Okay, go for it.
So, it works out. It's going tits up. Got the police asking for fucking money to bring, because they know they're bringing pills in. And we used this fucking influential fucking bitch's son, who fucking ended up, we sent him to go and fucking get some pills. The daft bastard fucking put him in socks and like fucking got high with the girls in Amsterdam.
What it means is he had a personal supply in his socks.
Yeah.
Not the bulk. Yeah.
That's I know that's a lot of drugs in socks.
Exactly. And then fucking got high with the girls in Amsterdam, and he was that fucked off his head. He's actually walking through the airport and there's fucking pills dropping through his own supply out of the bag. So they bust him, and then his fucking ma, who's like all fucking high, knows the people, is like calling me for like fucking getting the son arrested and fucking because he's looking at God knows what time. You know what I mean?
She's blaming you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So eventually, Shaun gets me out of there, and it was. I remember that the day it was. It was the day before 9/11.
So September the 10th, 2001, you left Mexico.
The day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that for a fact because I thought to myself, if it had been any time after, I'd have never got fucking out. Because the security was so relaxed, and it was just like you go over the border and they don't even fucking ask you anything. You got that many college kids. I mean, you got to understand, from Tucson to Rocky Point where it was, you think Mexico is big, but we're only talking an hour and a half, is it?
Yeah, it's right there on the border.
About an hour
There's
and a
such a
half.
flow of people.
It's such a flow of people. Yeah, you just
So,
mix in. You just put a backpack on and say, dude. Literally, that's how stupid it is.
Just out of interest, you would smuggle drugs. When's the ideal time to smuggle drugs across the corner?
I never carried drugs.
Across the Arizona border.
Yeah, so
when it's like spring break, when there's loads of
spring
traffic.
break.
So you wouldn't do it when it's quiet during the week. You wait for
No,
everyone to be
you
crossing.
wait for everyone crossing.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that anyone's looking for tips, but
Yeah. That's the best place to do it. Or best time. But really, the best time is never to do it.
yeah, and that is the moral
good.
of this
Story.
podcast. Thanks for watching. And so
Today's podcast was sponsored by the
yeah,
regulations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And respect your body.
Oh my god.
he's actually quite good at this. So you get back across the border, just pretending to be a student or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're back in Arizona,
Yeah.
and things are fucked up for him at this point.
Yeah.
Things are getting crazy now. He's at war with Skinner again. He's getting on so much meth now. It's the only time I ever got scared of Wildman was me and Rigetti were in the front seat of a car. Wildman's on the back seat. Don't know what weapons he's got on his person. And I look in the mirror and I just see these mad dog eyes looking at me all bloodshot. He's been on meth and he's not slept for about 5 days.
Well, I was annoyed that he didn't do nothing about fucking Schoolie.
And he goes and he starts looking at me and he's like, I'm like, what's up, La? He's like, I know you two guys are taking me out to the desert right now.
I flipped.
And I'm like,
Fucking eye twitcher and
Like,
shit. You know what I mean?
To be fair, you've got those eyes though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like, you've got. He's got those. I kind of Luca Brazzi, like that. That's what you remind me of.
Yeah.
Those Luca Brazzi eyes of like, a killer. Basically.
So he's never ever spoke to me like this before, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, is he going to snap while I'm driving and do something? I'm like, what are you on about, lad? What are you on about, lad? Of course we're not taking you out to the desert. You're just sketching, you're just high on meth. Why would we do that? Because I know too much. I know what's going on. I'm looking at Rigetti, and me and Rigetti are like, the blood's draining out our fucking faces.
I love this. This is so funny.
So his last run in America, this is what he's like now. He's gone to this level.
Paranoid as fuck.
Yeah. Well, a woman said he was pacing in this place they were living at, and he had weapons all over the place. And she was like, "What's the problem? What's the problem?" "Oh, fucking Shaun's sending the Mexicans because I know what's going on. The Mexicans are coming. They've got wood-panelled cars. I know exactly what cars they're driving." So he's just completely gone into this other dimension now. And I'm trying to like keep him calm. I'm trying to keep everybody else calm.
I'm stalking these Mexicans and would know what they were. They were fucking gardeners.
Right.
The police.
As fuck at this point.
The police were so hot onto me. My lawyer now says basically, you got to stop. This is gone too far. Are you fucked? You've got a good one. Stop. The woman I'm in love with. She talks me out the deal. Now that last big mission was the last big one. So I'm winding everything down now. And Wild Man and Wild
Lucky
Woman.
for you.
Pardon?
Lucky for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
it feels like if you carried on at that rate when they did catch
We
you.
kind of knew though, didn't we? We had a talk, didn't we? We knew it's too late now, isn't it?
So Wild Man and Wild Woman now, I've not got the supply of drugs anymore.
Yeah.
So they're on a rampage now of ripping off all of the dealers they could possibly get free drugs off, which is creating even more mayhem.
Because they're using your name to do that.
Yeah. And what was the bit where you ended up throwing boulders through the car and the house windows and everything.
Which one? In the
Which one?
Tempe.
Yeah, Tempe.
Yeah.
We've not even finished the DJ's house story yet. What ends up with that? Oh, shit, there's 2 houses get destroyed. Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, sometimes we play computer games and you're like, this is a ridiculous story. This would never happen. And then he's like, we've not even finished the DJ's house yet.
I like it though.
I show up at the DJ's house.
He's playing his tunes.
I go to pick the DJ's long gone because Wildman's moved in. And
hang on, let's start. The DJ fucking turned round and owed money, substantial amount of money, and he's saying, people have come in and robbed us, we haven't got your money, Shaun. And we've seen a pattern of this, and this is how I knew that we had our demise.
Yeah.
Because people who I was going to collect to suddenly disappeared, they're not in the town no more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
they've all got the same story.
Been talking to the fucking police and the fucking, you know what I mean?
They've all gone into witness.
You get that feeling where it's like,
Not that, but what they're saying is, I've
you
been
know
ripped off, so they
so
don't
much
have to
going
repay
on.
the debt.
yeah.
Yeah, so he pulled that one, didn't he? And what did you say to him when you moved in then?
I said, that's all fine. I said, well, if you got ripped off, I'll come and move in and make sure you're alright, yeah. You know what I mean?
Right, so in a passive-aggressive sort of threatening...
Meanwhile, one would fucking split up again. Fucking, it was just fucking... I was just sick of her fucking madness. Because it was on and off relationship. But loved one of the lords, but it was just on and off. Anyway, she's doing her fucking thing, I'm doing mine. So I move in this fucking place, and like, I'm enjoying it, and got some girls coming around. Sierra comes round, another titty girl dancer. Got to think with them titty girl dancers, young
Mate, who can blame you?
You know what I mean?
They're wonderful, aren't they?
Aren't they? God bless them.
Love them.
Yes.
That's the personal views of Brian there.
I genuinely do love titty girls.
Oh,
You
you
love
can't
girls
go
with
wrong.
breasts. That's what you love.
Titty girls.
Yeah.
No, girls who work in titty bars.
Yeah, this one's Italian, and she's like literally fucking really dark, nice eyes, literally huge fake fucking tits, man.
Right, do you like fake boobs?
I don't give a fuck any boobs as long as they're fucking big and fat.
Right.
I wanted a fat really, but she was really slim and like really good look. A bit too
have
good
so
looking
much in
for me.
common.
A bit out of your league.
A bit out of my league, yeah. No, I like the slappers, not the 10 to 2 as you get outside the nightclub.
I don't personally know them. I can imagine the exact person. So,
Well, I don't like him now because I'm married.
yeah, but back in the day, you did. But, so, how did you get a girl like that? Why are you getting a girl like that at that time?
Ah, fucking hell. It wasn't love for me.
Did you charm them?
I just had drugs.
Were you quite charming at drug? Yeah,
I think
drugs.
you charmed them a little bit as well.
Yeah,
though.
charmed them and fucking like.
Big
Charm
bad
free
lads,
drugs.
love the
I'll
drugs.
protect
Wildman's
you,
really
love.
charismatic. He's like a mafia figure to these ravers.
Yeah.
So they're thinking like, you know,
He's safe, isn't
he's
he?
a character. He's established character. He's like a legend.
And were you, because were you...
Oh, I was known no matter where I went. Yeah, I was known. I was known as Shaun's enforcer.
But I'm asking, are you a hench guy at this time? Are you, because you sound like you're working out quite a lot, sort of, not working out directly, but sort of, you know, using your muscle.
Well, yeah, I was rocking heads and fucking.
Just his behaviour was intimidating enough, and his behaviour like that was constant. And at this point, he's in another dimension because of all the meth, not sleeping. People are thinking, fuck, you know, I don't even have to do something wrong around him.
Yeah.
He could just throw me through a window.
It's just tense being around those people.
And I was kind of physically fit because I didn't fucking eat really.
Right.
Because I was always on the fucking meth.
You look like Dennis Rodman at one point with the blonde hair and
Yeah.
not Eminem.
Did you get your hair
Yeah.
dyed bleach blonde?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Yeah,
Photo where he literally looks like
thought I'd
Eminem.
blend in.
He's so
Sean
meth.
says, let's lay low, and you think, I'll dye my hair bleach blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was looking a little better as well because I got all this in prison, apart from the fucking hair breaking at once. But fucking, it was like, I didn't look too bad then. I was probably down to what 16 stone?
At one point, yeah.
About 16 stone.
God,
But he says laying low, he's just getting berserk on meth.
Right.
So he's found where Skinner lives, finally. This is just before we're going to get arrested now. Mm-hmm. And he's in the house, and Joey Crack shows up. And how many weapons did you have in there?
Well, that's where the boulders come in, wasn't it? Well, I got the wrong fucking car, but it wasn't his.
The amount of people who have suffered because you thought it was that. I mean, I'm going all the way back to the beginning where you
It's
hit
that
that guy.
good.
Yeah.
They shouldn't drive white Tauruses. Most common
version.
cars in America. You know what I mean?
And I show up at Gary Mann. I'm doing it now.
You can't mention his real name.
So you showed up
At the DJ's
At
house.
the DJ's house, right?
And Wildman just sat there on the wall. And he's just got this really sad look on his face, despondent, and his face is covered in soot. And I pull over and I'm like, what's happened, Wellman? Why do you look so sad? So I can't live there anymore, La. It accidentally got set on fire last night when I went to sleep. And what happened was...
Wasn't my fault. It was basically at Christmas lights. It was around Christmas time.
I just didn't see that coming.
It's a true story.
Didn't see that coming.
It's a true
genuinely,
story.
I didn't think fucking Santa and his reindeers would have something to do with this. This is mental.
And what it was, I was tweaking, and this guy had moved in, and he was like a computer thing. He loved his computers. So he left loads of computers. So I switched them all on. And when you've done tweak, you think you can fucking do anything. So I'm like, oh, I can program that. Oh, I can do that. Oh, let's see what this does. You know, you try and make a microwave into a fucking toaster.
Right.
You amuse yourself for a couple of hours. You got yourself a fucking little screwdriver, and you're like, hey, that's it. You just focused on something between that and big tits. Titty girls.
Right.
So, cut a long story short, I've got all these things plugged in. And I've got the titty girls coming. So I thought I'd like some fucking candles, be romantic.
Beautiful.
Go and get some fucking meal deals. Like meal deals? I'm still a Jew, you know what I mean? I still
She's
get
had a hard day
meals.
at work.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'll go and get these meal deals and fucking sit there. I'm thinking, oh yeah, she wants banging in the ass, man. And she told me I can fucking do it tonight, so I'll be nice, I'll get the candles out. So fucking got all the candles out and all that. They do way too many drugs, but we're fucking not tweaking anything.
Tweaks crystal meth, let me just clarify, yeah.
So I ended up fucking falling asleep upstairs. It was one of them apartments where it was open air. It was like you go upstairs and the bedroom's there, but there's a balcony and you can see downstairs. So I'm sat there fucking, and I've just slept. And like, it was only a power nap, I thought it was like 3 hours, but it was really like 12. And as I'm sleeping, I'm sort of like thinking I'm having a Pink Floyd dream, because I can see like, you might know, like the clouds floating over and all that, and like that type of thing. Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah. I don't know if it was that side, it was one of them where you see the clouds and all that. I think, oh, it's brilliant. And I look up and the fucking place is on fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love this shit. This is the image of you seeing the clouds. This is the most mad podcast ever. I swear. And honestly, I've had so much gin, it's unfucking real. I'm absolutely fucking...
So you managed to dodge, like getting in trouble for that, didn't you?
Well, what happened was, I managed to have fucking... I didn't have much in the house, as drug-wise, because I'd done it all. And fucking... And I managed to have a bag of clothes. I got my clothes out this time.
Well done.
You learned.
I learned.
Yeah.
You do learn by your mistakes.
How fucking...
It's just when the fire brigade turn up and they go, see, you got your clothes out, and you just go, yeah, I burnt houses down before you.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
This isn't my first one.
Yeah.
But it actually come back. It actually did you a favour, didn't it, in the long run? Because he got the insurance back because there was too many things plugged into the wall. And it actually set fire to this fucking, like, well, kind of, it was either that or the candles.
Right.
I'm putting it down.
It was either the open flame or the thing that he'd have plugged in for months.
Exactly.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
When he's off his tits and trying to unscrew something with a fucking lit candle. This isn't working. Oh, the screwdriver's not working at all.
Yeah.
No, fucking hell.
Oh, man.
It's bust.
Mental.
So you're out of another house.
Yeah.
Sean, at this point, is thinking, I need to put him in a padded cell.
Well, the stock market's crashed, so my money has gone down rapidly now.
Are you depressed at all about that at that point?
I would say I was kind of like depressed, and I was doing the drugs still.
You lost a fucking million, didn't you?
Doing the drugs still.
Yeah.
Doing the drugs still to like counteract.
Should have given it me. I'd have kept it safe.
The more depressed I got, the more drugs I wanted to take.
Yeah, you were so into the drug industry at that point, it mustn't have really mattered that much.
I've been talking out the dealing, and my bird was scared of me hanging out, but I was sneaking out every weekend with wild men, getting high on the GHB, and hanging out with the people of the night.
You'd gone from big time A stockbroker, B drug dealer.
Should we have one more?
To you've calmed down. You're
calm
now,
down from the dealing level.
You're now sort of
but still-
small time.
Yeah, but still quite mental on the consumption.
In terms of making money, and selling drugs, you've gone small time.
Yeah.
But you're still having a fun time, basically.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you've gone over that peak, and it's kind of like you're trying to like cling back to that old legend, but really you're slipping further and further down, and it's getting darker and darker.
The highs are getting less, and
I was doing GHB and just flopping on the floor like a fish.
Well, the signs were there. Everyone who's old, someone's disappeared and they weren't in town no more, or it was just you knew, and like you see, like you're actually getting followed. One of the dead giveaways I had was outside where I was staying in Farmer Street. There was this fucking guy up the lamppost, and he's up there. And like he's acting like he's fucking fixing, you know what I mean? But he's got no bastard tool bag.
Yeah.
He's fucking up the fucking lamppost, and you'd expect him to have a tool bag in that. But he's doing absolutely nothing apart from installing a fucking camera.
So this is your Goodfellas moment almost, you know.
This is like
totally.
If anyone's seen Goodfellas at the end where he's off his face doing the coke and that, and they're following around a helicopter, you feel like you're seeing little signs more and more.
My guy Cody was getting followed around by the helicopters. It's all in the police paperwork, exactly like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was the money guy. Yeah.
And you are getting followed as well.
We're all getting followed.
So you begin to realise this.
But we're like, because our decision-making process is scrambled, we don't know if it's the police, we don't know if it's rivals.
You don't know if it's just paranoia because of the drugs.
Or if it's just paranoia.
Yeah.
And it was often paranoia, but sometimes it wasn't. And people are telling me things, and I can't now figure out whether they're paranoid or that it's the truth.
Be honest, was it a little bit exciting to be the number one target, that guy?
No, it was exciting for me when I was at the peak of it, and everything was peaceful, and I was throwing parties up to 10,000 people, and I've got my bouncers running around. My ego.
You can't be greedy. You got to take best of both.
Ego's as big as the Grand Canyon.
You got to take good and bad.
Strip tease women, partying with them in the hotels.
The come up is the fun.
That was the exciting part.
That
of
was
it.
The Scarface.
So I was trying to get back to that, but it was an impossible.
So every time you try and reach high, you slip a little further down.
Yeah.
Right.
My bit was the journey.
Yeah.
The journey to that.
Yeah, just to give a fuck about the money. Just the good times they had and bad times.
Mate, that's what life's all about, isn't it, lads?
Yeah.
It's the journey. I feel like we should sort of
pause,
and then we'll pick this back up for a part 4, maybe. Are you?
I think the viewers are going to be gagging for his prison stories.
Because I know from what you've told me, there's a fuck ton of those.
Oh man!
We'll just sit it down there
all day on them.
Yeah.
And if people hit 10,000 likes on this, we'll do a part. Which they will. We'll do a part 4.
And check out his stories in this.
I'll put
that man's prison stories.
So everything.
Links to these. I actually. So the first time that we had Shaun on the podcast, I was the one who took all the books home. I got them on my side and I've read, and they're very well written. I'll give you that, Shaun. You've really written them well. You've chosen great stories.
My skills,
and they get better and better as you go along.
In the description, we'll put Shaun's books in there.
Wildman's playlist on YouTube.
Yeah. We'll put your YouTube channel.
Put his playlist.
And I'll get a watch.
He's going to get a Twitter account as well.
Twitter account.
Yeah.
Got to be done, and then we'll come back for part 4.
Part 4.
Looking forward
This is
to
that. By the way, no one's ever done a part 4, so I think this is worthy of it.
Let's just say this, right?
Nice
I know, right?
I'll bring some cans as well. I'll bring the cans.
Oh no, don't you worry about that. The first time we met Shaun, I thought this is the mental podcast.
Really?
Every podcast just keeps getting more and more crazy.
But I love them though.
Yeah.
I fucking love them because
guys.
Interesting people. Like when you're doing a podcast, this is like a dream to have someone who's had such a mad life and fair play. Thanks for sharing it.
Do I come across all right though? Because I'm sort of like feeling that I should sort of stick to certain details and lay other details away, but in the end, it's just.
But the thing is,
what you're saying.
In your 20s, you're always going to be at your most wild, and there's a reason you had the nickname, and I'm sure that when we cover all the prison stories and then coming out and going back to regular life, we'll get a different side to you then.
I've been married now 7 years. I've never been arrested. I've never been in trouble.
To be fair, that's what normal people do.
Credit. I've never been arrested. 7 years.
I want credit. You're supposed to. All right.
No, we'll pick this back up, lads.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for coming on. Absolute legends.
Can you use your loo?
Yeah,
of course. If you haven't already,
cheers, Lawrence.
Hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Right.
Shake his
Cheers.
hand on camera. Good.
Come on, lad. All right, lads.